How you doing, fellas? Shibbida bip dee dee. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. This is really silly. This is a little more nuanced, okay? Than the type of things I often cover. Our boy, P.F. Jung, or Paul, wants to get into the consulting business, where his audience pays him $75 for an hour of his time. I hope to show, with ample receipts, why that's hilarious. I never discourage people from doing things. I'm just showing you why I think it's funny. Okay? And a little ridiculous. We'll get more into that. Also, I might have to do a series on counterpoints. I might have to do a stream a week. I might do it on Sundays. The first episode would have to be me catching you guys up to speed, because I have adequately A-logged him for the past 2 years. And in order for you to enjoy his divorce and him breaking up with Destiny, who he loved, and him talking about getting cuddly with other women on stream even though he has 2 kids, and even though he's streaming all of this on Valor Media Network, in order for that to hit, you have to know the man's story, right? So the first stream would really be his story and how he came to today. So then we can enjoy. It's unlimited, and no one's cowing him. And I feel a responsibility. I'm not kidding. I remember the time at 3:12 today. So I'm an atheist, right? What really guides me is, am I going to regret this on my deathbed? And I actually thought to myself, I think I would regret on my deathbed if I didn't do a series on Connor. Actual thought that I had. Oh, it is. I want you. The reason why I do these streams is I want you to enjoy these things as much as I do. And in order to do that, I have to go full Jigsaw and have you see what I see. We'll get to that in just a moment. Who we got here, fellas? We got Sunday Math, $2. Thank you so much. I call X at the top left of his forehead. Is that what you're calling? Guy's already calling out his shots. Tacit Tempo, $5. Me and him have been arguing about pro-white stuff. Always enjoy our long-ass conversations. Good luck on the stream. Now, what I really enjoy about Tacit Tempo is he really, really wants to work with my criticisms of areas of the pro-white rhetoric. Now, Tacit Tempo, you'll notice, I don't criticize Patriot Front. I don't criticize Return to the Land at all. It's what happens outside of that, right? The culture outside of the organizations and the rhetoric and arguments being put forward. And we'll be able to work on something in the background. We'll probably just message me on X, and we can go into a little more detail as to what the crux of my issue is. What with me being the miscegenator at all. Intelligent Counterspell. Remember, 4 months? Thank you very much. As always, you're going to want to watch the 100% of Groypers are black and gay. You're just going to want to watch it. It really articulates some issues in the Groyper movement that hope to gatekeep American Christian nationalism. Speaking of which, let's start with Mullet Groyper over here, and how the Groypers don't seem to understand per capita. So, me and Remnant77 are polar opposites with how we engage in content creation, okay? But we're very much fans of each other because of that. I can't do what he does. He can't do what I do. Had this conversation privately many times. But what we both share a similarity on is when we view someone as breaking something that we find to be a moral incongruity, let's say. And I don't know anyone else that really latches on like he does. So after my Atlas Thug stream, he had this to say. Free thinker behavior. Agree with every single opinion in your bubble without exception. Trust me, he totally isn't a mindless drone. Wow.
Yeah, the apostles disagree with Jesus Christ all the time.
Yes, that is right. We are comparing Nick Fuentes, I believe, to Jesus Christ.
Yep.
When Trump depicts himself as literally Jesus Christ, that's blasphemous. That's bad. He will retweet that and agree with you. But it's totally fine when he compares Nick Fuentes to Jesus Christ.
So he's encountering the really no limiting principle of the Groypers. Now, out of nowhere, we have Mullet Grop over here, who I've argued with in the past. And he says, I own your fairy leader. He is my bitch. Maybe I'll let him stream tonight, and you can send me your money, pay piggy. And he quote post something where he said, I don't even have a YouTube channel, and I follow Mogu, like Mogu, frame Mogu, and looks Mog your 40-year-old bald ass. Because he has less than twice the followers of me on X. And I was like, you did the meme. I said this on stream specifically because of Groypers like him. In here we see he's lost 100 subs in the last 30 days. He gets 22,000 views in the last 30 days, where I've gotten 109,000 views, an extra 200 subs in the last 30 days. I bring up views and engagement to Groypers especially because they say things like, we're mogging you and we're ratioing you on X. It's like, okay, well, like, not where it actually counts in terms of, like, content creation. You don't get paid on that. It doesn't do anything. It's like they would believe that TikTok numbers are valid. He sees, like, 1,500, and he thinks that's the same as, like, 1,500 watching live on YouTube. It's incredible. It's an edited video for a full 2 weeks in that time period as well. We can look at the live streams where I'll get one live stream that gets over 3,000 views consistently, where he has trouble even getting 1,000 views on a stream. So it's like, and he has 20,000 subs. Like, bro, chill. Just chill, man. All right? Let's check in on our boy right now.
Welcome in to another episode of Offensively Accurate, hosted by yours truly, Atlas Thug.
He is going 27 live strong right now. I think I'm at 190. I think this is this in the arena? Chat, is this in the arena of mogging him? Making fun of them for saying that. I already did that, and he already did the thing. And he's showing that I blocked him, and I blocked him because he'll just... Okay. Groypers have a shame kink. They'll pay Nick Fuentes money to shame them, so this is just for free to have me shame them. And it's a waste of my time. And he's like, Atlas had 27 live while I had 190 live. You're too fucking Lamau. No further comment. Doesn't make any point. I don't know why he would show everyone that I get way more live viewers than Atlas Thug. I'm sure he appreciates that. I said I make more money than Atlas does streaming. You got me. How will I ever recover? And I said, this is how retarded Groypers are. He's reposting me having way more live viewers with way less YouTube subs, and he thinks this is a W. And he goes, way more. It's literally 190 people. Yes, 190 live is way different than 27 live. Yes. How do you make fun of somebody at that point? And he's like, Atlas isn't the one out here trying to flex his live view count. I'm like, dude, you started this entire thing by trying to flaunt that you like Mog Me, frame Mog Me. You were the one that were flaunting mogging first. And he goes, I bragged about having more followers than you on X and frame. Do you see how it immediately goes in a circle? So he can't even, like, experience shame. And that's why I blocked him. Where does this go? The only point of this is for me to show this to you guys, to show that there's, like, not a... They do what commies do. They don't disavow or speak ill of any of the horrific, antagonistic, and getting caught in arguments behavior of their followers. Now, I just realized how long I've been posting about this for. This is from May 25th. I'll just pop in on Connor's streams, okay? Now, this is the future of Counterpoint's politics. And I'm like, uh-oh, this is a big downfall. And that looks fun to watch. Then I realize it's not even on his channel. He has Counterpoint's politics, his channel. But he's talking about the future of Counterpoint's politics on Valor Media Network. And he talks about all of his personal drama on Valor Media Network like a lefty, anti-fascist, veteran-run YouTube channel, okay? I was like, holy shit, he's doing this on Valor Media, not just on his own channel. He got divorced. Now he's breaking up with Destiny as a friend because Destiny is a sex pest degenerate. If only there were signs. Wouldn't you like to get caught up on that before we make fun of him? I forget what this even is. I was like, oh yeah, so I've been saying he doesn't make money, he takes money, all right? Valor pays him $2,000 a month to be a less than 100 live viewer streamer. And yes, Connor is telling everyone how much he makes and from where because he's doing really well mentally.
Valor pays me up front $2,000 a month. Oh my God, my zero button is stuck. I didn't even jerk off onto it.
Oh boy.
There we go. Jesus.
And I'm like, dude, why are you... And he went through his entire finances monthly. Now, P.F. Jung is going to tell only a little bit too much personal information. Jerry Banfield tells way too much personal information. We'll get to a little bit of Jerry Banfield. Connor really tells way. He tells you everything. He uses his audience like it's a therapy session, okay? And so Connor ended a 6-year friendship with Destiny. And now we'll be streaming about his personal life. And that will come back to haunt his kids just like Destiny. Connor, you're a dad. Stop talking about the mother of your kids and every detail of your life, or don't. I'll be here. And it keeps going. Oh, what is this?
While we're at it, let's...
Okay. Dude, do you guys want to get caught up on this? I said, you're not having a bad day. Your life isn't that bad because you're not Connor. All of this turmoil for 50 live viewers on Valor Media. You could be homeless with 2 STDs having a better day than Connor. Brought to you by Valor Media.
Fuck you. Okay? And then also, while we're at it, let's just go ahead and rip off the entire fucking Band-Aid. Okay? Destiny was age playing with a mentally ill woman in Alabama. The mentally ill woman and her husband have 2 children, aged 17 and 12. The 17-year-old, and this is according to the husband and according to the wife.
What's so funny about this is saying this in 2026 about Destiny is like saying, after everyone found out everything about Ted Bundy, going, and he jaywalked. Like, yeah. And Ted Bundy is behind on his taxes. Ted Bundy also tips 5% when he goes out to eat. Like, out of all the things you know about Destiny, do you think this is shocking in 2026? He just got burned by Destiny. And now my favorite. Does it keep going? No. I went, holy shit. This is possibly the angriest I've ever seen Connor. If you support jerking off to kids, you get a 24-hour ban. All right? Stay out of his way today, fellas. He's not playing.
I'm not going to respect your 4th Amendment right to jack off to fucking kids. And if you
Hot
have a
take.
problem with it, there's the fucking door.
Whoa. Setting boundaries.
Okay?
Then you're out forever. I love how Arden watched this and he goes, only 24 hours? Like, that would be a permanent ban. I know. Yeah, that would be a permanent ban. Wouldn't it, Arden? Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Imagine talking about it. Yeah, I know, right? Let's hear it from the horse.
And by the way, Patriarch just said no. Anything underneath no that sweeps for your fucking right to jack off to kids, you're catching 24 hours.
Whoa.
I'm just telling you straight fucking up. 24 hours. I'm not going to...
I know, but it's extra funny when you know his history. So, fellas, I do have a playlist called Counterpoints as a Fake Conservative. Now, what I'm thinking for the first, I don't know what I'm going to call it, but the entire first stream, because I have things in here that aren't available anymore. I have screen caps of what his channel was like 2 years ago, and I can just tell a beautiful story. Him talking to Rob Knorr, his debate with Andrew Wilson, and how people on the right have been clocking him as a fake conservative for a long time. And this is why you have to be right-wing. He was still like, no, I'll work with the left because I hate Trump. So I might do that. It'll take some extra elbow grease. Now, fellas! Perfect segue to our P.F. Jung content for today. It's going to be this comment right here. You know, I posted this. Pretty silly thumbnail, I'd say. His head actually is that large. Someone said, this dude pisses me off. Like he's almost there with some of his opinions. Then he just says something so stupid the very next moment. He loves to use the term antisocial, don't forget degenerate, antisocial and degenerate, a lot when referring to people having disgust towards things that are totally normal to have disgust towards. Thank you for that perfect segue. Now, let me get you into the character, P.F. Jung. He said the whites are out of control. This is from 3 months ago, April 8th of this year, 13,000 views. Oh, we're going to bounce around a little bit of time with P.F. Jung. This will introduce you to P.F. Jung of how he'll say things that the right wing says, right? His whole thing, though, is dark centrism. Okay? Dark centrism, where he talks to all the extremists, and he thinks that you can work with the left. And the left does some crazy stuff, the right does some crazy stuff. And he'll acknowledge points that we've made about the Moos, about Moos supremacy. You'll hear some of them. He'll bring up the Moos talking at a conference even. And then you'll be able to see where the right wing falls off, where the left wing falls off, and how his channel is hurting.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a problem with the whites, okay? And it's manifesting in white racial identity politics. So let me say a few things. The problem with us American whites is deracination, okay? Rootlessness. Deracination. I, as an American white, am not a European white. I'm not English. I'm not Polish. I am an American white. Funnily enough, there's a guy who started a whites-only community out in Missouri who actually follows me on Twitter, by the way. And much like Karl Marx, I agree with his
Now,
diagnosis.
you're going to notice some very hidden narcissist attitudes, okay? I'm going to clock him as pretty narky. I would say benevolent narcissist, okay? And he really thinks he's a deep guy. But you see something like that, he goes, and he follows me? Okay, dude, chill, relax. He really likes watching himself. He really thinks he's a very deep guy. But he doesn't say anything that deep at all, which we'll cover.
And less so with the solution. But his diagnosis is actually pretty good here.
I remember we had some kind of cultural day and they asked like, you know, where your ancestors came from. And they were writing it on the board and it was like Mexico, 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 England, Mexico, Mexico, Mexico. I mean, I have no other identity I can go back to. I'm a quarter or more Norwegian and then I'm German and I'm English. So I can't say that I'm English. I can't say I'm German. I can't say I'm Norwegian alone. I'm not even like majority any of those things. So the only identity that I have, ethnocultural identity, is as a white American.
Perfect starting point as the differentiation between European whites in terms of ethnicity and American whites in terms of ethnicity. Excellent.
And I think that's most white Americans, actually.
We have a problem. One of those problems is just genuine anti-white racism. Breaking mural for Irina Zarutska will be removed after Providence Mayor Smiley condemned it.
Artist Ian Goodrow tells me he's sad it's come to this point, but after calls from Mayor Smiley and other local leaders to remove the mural, it felt like only a matter of time before this happened.
The artwork is going to be removed.
Artist Ian Goodrow breaking the news to NBC 10 Monday afternoon. The Irina Zarutska mural is coming down.
Ultimately, we want to make sure that every community member that calls Providence home feels safe. And we can both agree that this mural behind us does not reflect Providence's values, nor does it reflect the creativity that we want to see in our city.
It's beyond absurd that there are George Floyd murals up the wazoo. But because it's a white woman that got stabbed by a black person, therefore it can't be shown. It doesn't reflect the values. So there's a deeper problem, though. There's a deeper problem. It has to do with...
He'll acknowledge these things very neutrally. It's absurd, right? It's just kind of crazy. It's kind of weird. It's absurd.
With what is an American, what is a white American. Ladies and gentlemen, behold what it means to be an American. What it means to be an American in this...
is an empty cup. And something else has to fill it. Here's where he's going to lose some right-wingers, fellas, okay? Here's an American, an empty cup that's waiting to be filled with something.
standard sense is this cup. This cup represents abiding by America's laws, right? Having citizenship, agreeing to a set of common laws and things that you can't do, restricting free speech and all that. That's what the common notion of what an American is. Okay. But the thing is this just tells you what you can't do. There's a substance that you can pour into the cup. So for example, if you're Indian American, you can pour Indianness into the cup, right? And then you're an American citizen, but you have substantive Indian culture.
Wow.
You're Hindi, you have particular foods, you have particular cuisines, traditions, norms, stuff like that. If you're Irish, you can pour Irishness into the cup, which is mostly just whiskey. You have an affirmative.
What's going on, Aaron from Clowntown Chronicle? It was a show with Fist on Fist channel. I guess I'm a cup now. Yep. Welcome to the clown show. You're a cup.
Tradition, an affirmative set of values and norms and substance in cultural substance, right? And you can do that with anything. Indian American, Indonesian American, Chinese American, whatever. But here I am, a white American mutt who has no allegiance to Europe. What do I pour into this cup? What is the positive substance of white Americanism? Well, you can't even ask that.
I know. So I hate these analogies, right? And it's what I noticed that the non-right wingers do. Let's go to analogy, okay? Let's say you're a cup. Nope. We're not saying any of this. No, we're not doing the stupid little analogy. We can all see what you're doing. Test a tempo, $5. Thank you. I gave Nick a chance like a year or two ago, asked him a genuine question for $20, and the guy stopped a few words in, kind of a douche. Well, you've seen how he treats his chat, They pay for the abuse. They're pay pigs. At least join OnlyFans. I would rather that someone joins OnlyFans, okay? If you want to be paid to be humiliated, at least you get a nut after. Jam, $5. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Wish I could stay and watch, but I've got places to be. Catch you in the replay. Thank you so much, my dude. I really appreciate it.
That question because people say you're racist. Oh, white identity politics, that's disgusting. It's disgusting. This is why we need to take down the mural of Irina Zarutska because it's bad. Just give a funny example.
Okay. Remnant, I don't know how long you're going to be here for, okay? I'm going to bring up thumbnails at a certain point, and I'm going to need your feedback, all right? Maybe I don't know, half hour to 45 minutes possibly, okay? There is a legendary thumbnail fiasco that I'd love you to see.
Affinity groups. We talk about this is by the Institute for Social Change. This is like a DEI type aid. Racial affinity groups. BIPOC participants are affirmed in their racial affinity group. And then white affinity group space is important because it creates the conditions for white people to recognize the profound impact of racism on their lives, on the lives of Black, Indigenous, and people of color. White people
one could call this institutional racism against white people.
Teach one another about racism and privilege that accrues. There's no positive aspect to being white. Here's a question that I asked a progressive not too long ago that I would like you, the viewer, to consider. There are many high schools, especially in the South, that are majority Hispanic, sometimes 90% or more, where the white students are only about 7, 8, 9% of the total school population. If you were a high school administrator, would you allow those white students to form a white affinity group to speak positively about white identity?
He chose to show him talking to Pisco and talk over it.
So on and so forth. The same way that, Black students or Hispanic students.
Mind you, you're going to have freedom to give him $75 for an hour of his time to help you with anything in your life.
Will form a Black or Hispanic affinity group in their high school when they're a minority. It's an interesting hypothetical that I think challenges our assumptions about, race and white supremacy and all this different stuff. This is the problem. We need something positive and affirmative as white Americans to pour into this cup and have as our thing. Now, it's a very difficult question to answer what that is. I have a couple hypotheses. One is...
Oh, thank you for your hypotheses. Instead of me saying that I have a hypothesis of what it is, I put that out there because I know other people are already thinking about it, okay? If you're not, trying to be pro-white, right? Or if you're new to this idea of race realism, identifying with your race like how other people do, you need to, read the room and listen and see what opinions are already out there. But nope, he's just going to go for his own hypothesis of what it's going to be. I'm sure it's better than what other people have already thought of in the past couple decades.
So the quintessential aspect of being a white American is the sacrifice of your ancestors, and a particular sacrifice, the sacrifice of their previous identity. Right? My grandparents came here as immigrants, at least on my dad's side, Polish immigrants. They did not teach my dad any Polish. Why? Because they wanted him to assimilate. They said, listen, we're going to leave behind the old world. We're going to leave behind...
Assimilate to what? You're still not saying what the American identity is, Paul.
This identity and assimilate to this new American identity. So part of the quintessential white American identity is the sacrifice of a previous identity.
Now here's the crazy thing, Ave, honest Ave over here. He said, married to the post-war consensus. Well, he calls out the post-war consensus plenty of times to people. He'll acknowledge all of these arguments, but this is why I say you can't be on the left at all. You can't reason with the left at all, not even a little bit. Reasoning with the left is like fucking a kid, okay? You can't do it. You can't even do it a little bit. It's like heroin. You can't dabble in it. You can't do it at all. You have to cut it off cold turkey and feel shame for ever doing it in the first place. Okay? You have to cut it off completely. You have to be right wing, or at the very least, remove all lefty stuff. Any Democrat, I would even say any liberal at this point. Okay? But you can be right wing and still waking up out of the fog of war and the haze and be more right wing. Okay? I'm not strict on this, but you have to cut off the left.
Now, that's also true with other identities. I mentored a student in Dallas at this high school, Hispanic. He didn't speak Spanish. It was crazy to me. Like, damn, that's also a sacrifice. That is a quintessential American thing to do. Not like rejection because it's bad, but the sacrifice of a previous central part of an identity to assimilate to a new one. I think that's positive. I think that can be affirmed. I think that's interesting. Then also you have the shared experience of being a common people that goes to a common set of experiences, things of that nature. Anyway, I don't have the answer, but my point is we must pour something into this cup. It must be pro-white. It must be good. And we need to stop the anti-white racism that comes.
Wasn't that a meaningful, deep hypothesis? That in order to be American, you shed what you were? What about the already Americans, Paul?
Those are people who want to pour something into this cup. Now, the
so
problem
deep.
is very intelligent people dispute the necessity of this. Let me just give you an example. I had a conversation with a professor of African American studies. I put this one up behind a paywall for a variety of reasons, but let me just pull up this segment. All of the metrics that we use to say certain minorities are behind white people, if you apply it, a lot of it to like young white men, for example, in terms of just like life expectancy, suicide rate, drug abuse, loneliness, inability to get a job, buy a house, all that stuff, they are, I do think it's a generational thing, probably first and foremost. It's like the young white men who are attracted to Nick Fuentes or are vulnerable to the people like Nick Fuentes are, in my opinion, in such a categorically different category than like the white boomers who actually do occupy positions of
categorically different category. Where do I sign up to pay him $75 for an hour of his time?
Power. And the white boomers are kind of the inheritors of that. And the young, and I hear it from them. It's like the young white men are like, that's not me. I have just as much trouble finding, living, buying a house or getting a job and all that stuff. And it's like, there's an element of like, yeah, like I can put myself in their shoes and understand the grievances that they, claim to feel. And
I don't have that concept before. I mean, yeah, I just can't get there. I mean, it's like that whole like Nick Fuentes or, who's the Canadian sociologist with the, I'm talking about the guy who's the man's males are under attack.
Jordan Peterson?
Jordan Peterson.
Oh.
Mind you, he has been a huge Jordan Peterson fan up until about a year ago.
I just can't with these people, man. It's like, it's so depraved. It's so like ratchet. It's so like that's what's so internally incoherent about it, right? It's like this whole like masculine thing is based upon it's like profound fragility, where women, I can't be around women because they're scary and don't like me. I'm worried about, immigrants. I'm worried about black people. I'm worried about gay people. I'm worried about trans people. I'm worried about, I can't.
Mind you, if you categorize his race accurately, he chimps out.
And have the car I want. I can't live in the place I want to live. I can't get the job I want because, some black person got it because they didn't deserve it. Just like, what are you talking about? Right? It's like, come on. Right? None of that is true. Right? And so then it becomes a political ideology and excuses that somebody tells you to stop whining so much about it. And now you get to lash out, and then the next reaction is, well, I become Nick Fuentes, and the Gregors, and we're going to sit around.
Any black person telling any white person to stop whining about something is hilarious.
And like figure out that women shouldn't be allowed to vote, and Jordan Peterson is the guy with every man should be allocated a wife. Bullshit, right? It's like, where are you coming up with this, man? Because what they call them, the Kens and the Kwames or whatever, who get all the women and they hate them too. Like, what?
So anyway, my point is there is a real intellectual strain that regards like just having.
Now he very much views himself as an intellectual, fellas. Okay, he's very much an intellectual. His whole thing revolves around applied sociology. He considers himself like an autodidactic sociologist. Okay. Keep that in mind.
Empathy for like white grievance or whatever as just problematic to begin with. I would say that's problematic. And another thing that is genuinely, I would say, anti-white is the hypocrisy of it. Hold on real quick. Race isn't everything, but it isn't nothing. Well said, Justin. Dark centrism, baby. It's not everything.
So deep. It's not everything. It's not nothing. Wow. That's deep right there.
It's not nothing. Look at that. But there's real hypocrisy when it comes to perspectives on whiteness and white identity.
Saint Smitty comes in with Destiny Jesselnick. I get so jealous of chat sometimes. It was right there.
Politics. One thing that some white people will say is, I want to marry a white person in order to have white kids that look like me. And in my opinion, that's a perfectly valid moral intuition. That's like a black person saying, I want to marry a black person to have black kids that look like me. However, when the white people do it, it's considered hate, no race mixing. White supremacists fear and hate the concept of multiracial.
Okay, he's being based. He's calling out the contradiction, right? You're like, oh, huh. Some right-wingers watch his content and go, oh, he's actually calling this out, especially if you don't watch content like Ardy and Fist, right? This is a thing that's been allowed to be discussed publicly in the more so, not mainstream, but just casually in the past year or two. So you might see that and go, oh, okay, wait a minute. This guy is like kind of centrist, but he's actually calling these things out.
Couples, believing that such relationships pollute the pure white race. As a result, fairly common white supremacist symbol depicts a multiracial couple or family, the red cancel bar over it. So the AD...
Oh, Ave. Oh, honest Ave. You're surprised he doesn't have a bookshelf in the background. Did you know he's going to be selling his own book? And we're going to be getting to that later on. See, he goes above and beyond. He doesn't have a bookshelf in the background. He's going to be releasing his own book. Would I waste your time for a bookshelf? No. You're going to get to see slides from the book he's going to make and what it's going to be about and how it's going to change things and how important it is, all right?
EL says people who say they don't like race mixing is a hate symbol. Now, to be clear, I think it is a litmus test of whether you're pro-social or antisocial. If you believe that it's wrong for other people to marry outside of their race, you're a degenerate. It's fine to have that intuition for yourself. It's fine to want to have children that look like you. But if you...
There's the first degenerate count. You're a degenerate. If you don't agree with me, if you do this thing that I think that's morally disgusting, you're a degenerate, okay? I think it gets to like... It really feels like antisocial and degenerate, where they're like, if you're not pure white, you're like defunct and you're all fucked up genetically. You just can't, you can't expect people that are trying to have motion, like Patriot Front and like, and Return to the Land to be like, yeah, we agree with that guy. That's when it becomes, you know, there's certain specific things that's like, yeah, they're all fucked up inside because they're not pure white. Nah! That's what it can come off as with some of the arguments I've had.
You get upset with white people for marrying black people, or if you're black and you get upset at black people for marrying white people. Degenerate. Of course, here's the interesting part. The ADL. Who's the head of the ADL? Well, that's right, Jonathan Greenblatt. And what did he say not too long ago?
But like, this is why we need a revolution in our community.
I'm watching like fucking Ardy and Fist right now. This is great.
On so many levels. So look, the reality is that intermarriage rates continue to go up. Assimilation continues apace. And look, I fight anti-Semitism. That is my job. But I worry a great deal about broader questions of Jewish identity, I think we talked about over lunch.
So concerned about intermarriage, which is interesting.
So in order to preserve a particular racial identity.
And he calls out the double standard with the moose. Honest Ave over here. Reading books is great, but needing other people to know you read books is stereotypical midwittery. No. No. The worst thing you can do is go, you should read this book. Why? It's great. Why should I read the book? He talks about a bunch of stuff. If somebody's read a book, they want me to read the book, tell me why I should read the book and something that is from the book that you read to show me that you've read the book. That's what kills me.
Interracial marriage rates going up are bad. For example, if white Americans want to preserve sort of a white American kind of identity or subculture, that's problematic. Interesting. Surely the head of the ADL is just an isolated incident, right?
See? Now he is killing it right now. Slaying. Seems groups like PF and RTTL are more concerned with their own people and not so much the affairs of nons. Well, that is pro-white versus anti-non-white. Yes. Huge distinction when actually organizing and getting things done.
No, like mainstream journalist would talk about this. Oh, wait. Brett Stevens, who's probably the most mainstream journalist you can imagine, at the State of World Jury address, which I thought the only people that say World Jury are anti-Semites, but apparently the World Zionist Congress has a yearly keynote. Anyway, here's what he says.
The golden age of American Jews, which he said in an Atlantic article was ending, was actually fading long before October 7th. It has been fading for decades, starting when American Jews began to treat their Jewishness as the most disposable part of their identity. It was fading when bar and bat mitzvahs became the last Jewish ritual.
Yeah, like, can we say this about whites? Do we have any white? Why aren't there all these white conventions about being white? Is that what we have to do? I guess there's what? American Renaissance does that, right? Return to the Land hosts similar things like that. Okay, right. It's just not very publicized. Understandably so.
many American Jews observed in their lives. It was fading when intermarriage rates crept above 50%. It was fading as a growing percentage of American Jews started to feel more embarrassment than pride in Israel.
So it is the hypocrisy. Why is all this anti-Semitism? Why is there this rise of white identity politics? It's like, look, again, as Justin so eloquently pointed out, race isn't everything, but it isn't nothing. It's perfectly fine for people of a particular...
Now, race isn't everything. It's also it's also something, right? Now, very quickly, P.F. Jung says he's a Christian. He says he believes Christ is risen, okay? But he also supports gay marriage, and we have the most elite Christian mocker in the business, made by Jim Bob, laying this down perfectly.
Of homosexuality in Scripture. I believe, so you believe in a creator. Now, that was the whole point of this side quest, was to consider whether or not you believe in a creator.
Yes, I believe in God, and I believe Jesus rose from the dead.
Well, by golly, you are now officially a Christian. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Listen.
Come on, man. What other streamer is pulling out the stops like this to make fun of evangelicals, dude? He's elite. He's the best at what he does.
I see people out there. I see different churches, organizations, institutions of man. And they're out here saying you're not a real Christian. Well, I say be quiet, demon! If you just affirm there was a man named Christ who walked this earth, and he paid the debt in advance, you, P.F. Jung, even though you love homosexuality, you too can say you're a Christian. So in the back, there's some t-shirts.
Because being a Christian is what you say and not what you do, you know?
It says, I am Christian. Nana nana poo poo. They're $29.99. It's the least we can do here at Lakewood Ministries.
Love it.
Make sure you know you're Christian, and make sure everyone else out there knows you're a Christian. We call it T-shirt evangelism. Right, Nancy? We don't have actually the size for Nancy.
You see, Fist and Jim Bob, they can just go right... Oh, unfortunately, Aaron from Clowntown Chronicles knows this. Fist will just drag you into an improv character. I'm so bad at trying to keep up with it. Oh, man. What a talent to have.
I made a pact with Nancy, my wife. I said, Nancy, here's the deal, sweetie. I've got a medium saved just for you, sweetie. And it's going to be right there. I'm going to put it on the wall in a frame. And when you reach your weight target, we're going to have a celebration right here at Lakewood Ministries. We're going to celebrate! Sorry, something came over me, guys. Sorry, where were we?
Love it. Ardy, are you an Oren McIntyre respecter? We have covered Oren McIntyre many times, especially with his spats with James Lindsay. Now, unfortunately, he is on The Blaze, and unfortunately, Glenn Beck owns The Blaze, okay? But, fortunately, Fist appears as though he's going to be a reoccurring voice on Oren McIntyre's show. And so, yes, absolutely. I mean, I'm still a Matt Walsh fan. He's on the Daily Wire, okay? I like when people that I majorly agree with on things that happen in society are in places where you're like, oh, they might be compromised. I recently got shit in my comments because Andrew Wilson was recently a paid contractor, so wasn't Rob Knorr, to help TPUSA people, like to train them as debaters. And he said that Andrew Wilson is a contributor. And I'm like, well, he's not a contributor. He was a temporary paid contractor. He goes, whatever. He's compromised. Ugh. I was going to show that, but it's not even worth showing, dude. He's a paid contractor. He's not an employee there. Relax. Calm down. People are getting all up in arms. All right? These associations that too quick to turn their back on people.
Identity group to want to have a cohesive identity. That's fine. When you start to view people of your own race as traitors, marry outside of that.
Now, I thought the same thing. Glenn Beck actually no longer owns it. Can you look that up right now to see if he owns it? Because the internet, I believe, gives me a response that says he owns it.
Group where you view that as problematic, that's when you become an antisocial degenerate. Whether you're a white person telling other white people that they're having mixed race kids and you call those kids racial slurs, that's antisocial and degenerate beyond all belief. And if you're Jewish and you say, well, Jews who marry outside their race, they're not helping the state of Israel, they're threatening the Jewish. It's like, okay, this is backwards, truly. Now, in response to the white pagans, this is a pretty succinct summary of
What? Am I gonna get one guide? What is the conflict of interest there if he's contracted to teach them how to debate? He obviously doesn't have to rely on them for income. He doesn't have to rely on anybody. He's completely independent in terms of income. Andrew Wilson, okay? So what is the conflict of interest if he was on their network in like a W-2 employee, but he's a 1099 paid contractor? That is the difference. I'm not a guy that claims to know a ton about the back end, okay? But that is a meaningful distinction.
my view on kind of white identity politics as it manifests. But what I will say is I find it hilarious that a bunch of white pagans are telling me that it would be immoral for me to marry and have children with someone who isn't white. On what basis are you making that moral claim?
Oh, the pagans really get to him.
The white racialists say it's natural to feel a greater affinity to your own kin, which is true. That's why it's perfectly reasonable to love your own family and children more so than the strangers in the town over. But who are you to tell me where I draw the boundaries of who I consider my kin or my in-group? I believe in evolution, which means that all human beings come from the same genetic lineage. And if you want to arbitrarily draw your in-group, out-group boundaries between white Europeans and everyone else, you're free to do that. But don't pretend that makes you morally superior to me when I draw my in-group, out-group boundaries between my fellow God-fearing American citizens and degenerate pagans like yourself. I do not feel a greater sense of kinship.
Look at him making his face big to look at him watch himself. It's very small things like that, fellas, okay? So, Mr. Mystery, anything anyone says about the Tyler Robinson case is going to be weird. This is a mini 9/11. Well, we covered it very briefly on Ardy and Fist, where you're not going to be able to. It's going to be like 9/11, where you're not going to be able to prove it, and so you're going to sound crazy. And also, there's a lot of. It's like with the pagans. It's like with the pro-whites. Okay, let's try to differentiate yourself from the psychos on your side. Okay, with some of the shit that they're saying.
With someone in a European country that I've never been to than I do with my Asian or Hispanic friend who I grew up with and have a shared history in this country with. If you think white people's problems would be solved by focusing more...
Do you understand people that don't feel the same way that you do? Okay? I don't instinctively or intuitively have these pro-white feelings. You can tell with the things that I say and how my nickname is the Miscegenator. I'm sure Eric Arval loves seeing that. But you can't understand why other people feel that way? It's hard for you to understand that? It's the same with like Christianity. I can't make myself act like I have a feeling or a belief, okay? But I can't act like others are crazy for having that feeling and belief.
On race, I encourage you to get back to your medieval map-based strategy games and learn more about the interethnic horror that occurred between the English, Scottish, and Irish. Cannot be beat. How does he do it? How does he work in a medieval...
Did you guys know that the English, Scottish, and Irish fought with each other? He went into some detail there, didn't he? How do we give him money already?
Do Total War clip in the middle of his ramblings on white racial politics. It's just too good. But look, the point is, you can recognize there's a double standard. You can recognize there's real anti-white racism. And you can recognize that you are entitled to have the impulse that you can marry whoever you want for whatever reason you want. And if one of those reasons is I want to have...
Now, this is libcuck right now. Marry anyone for any reason does it mean anything, right? If you're a Christian, should you marry an atheist? You just marry anyone. There's no selection. And here's the thing. He's the kind of guy that goes to therapy. And I'm sorry if you go to therapy, okay? Most people I don't think should go to therapy. Because most people that I've talked to that go to therapy they've been going to therapy for like 10 years. And I'm like, oh, that's as far as you got, huh? You're a fucking weirdo. That's just my experience, okay? Now, when you go through some like specifically terrible things, sure. But your day-to-day, I have a case of the ho-hums going to therapy, and he sounds like he loves therapy because he loves talking about himself and his ideas and what he's going through. We'll get more into that later on.
kids that look like me, that's perfectly valid and should be defended. And any liberal, any leftist who says it's actually wrong if white people want to marry other white people and have white babies, such degenerate nonsense. But again, this idea of like, well, white people intermarrying and having mixed race kids, it's a form of slow white genocide. It's like, look, there is a big difference between white people not having kids because family formation is being reduced due to economic factors. People are degenerate. OnlyFans is being promoted. Casual sex, promiscuity, all this stuff, all the things that deteriorate the social structure in which long-term monogamous.
Smelly balls. You look familiar, Smelly balls. You seem familiar.
Relationships kind of require. If white people are not having kids because of that, that's bad. And you can call it white erasure and white genocide. I don't really, whatever term you want. White genocide is a little provocative, but whatever. However, there's a big difference between white people not having.
The left never uses provocative language. God forbid we try to have a sense of urgency.
Having kids at all, and then white people marrying outside of the race and having mixed race kids, because they're still spreading white genes. And it's so funny because it's like, well, it's white genocide. It's like, okay, well, if that's white genocide, it's also the genocide of the race that white person is marrying. So it's white genocide and black genocide or Hispanic, whatever. And there's a massive difference between that. And I think it's perfectly, what I want my kids to have are my genes that contain my schizophrenic identity. Whether or not they...
I know, but what womb are you putting that into? Do you see how narcissist that is? Do you think the kid's just you? It's half you and half what you make the kid with. He's like, the kid's just fucking pretty much me. No, what do you dump your load into, Paul?
Look like me 100 or 200 years from now is really not that relevant for me. But if you don't have an intuition, that's fine. And I think you're entitled to that. And I think you're entitled to say, Paul, I don't understand you. But if you think I'm wrong for that, if you accuse me of participating in white genocide, because I'd be willing to have been in an interracial marriage with some absolutely wonderful, beautiful Asian, black, Hispanic woman, whatever it is, then you are an antisocial degenerate and the darkness has no place for you. It's also perfectly valid to say, I want to live in a world where...
Do you see how he goes 180 and goes full heel? That's to like, now he's trying to appeal to like the left when he says this. You know, he tried to appeal to the right and then I was appealing to the left. Because he's a dark centrist, okay? And he never really arrives at any sort of actual conclusion.
There are white people.
Just platitudes.
Around. Like, it would be worse off if there were no white people around. And that's a valid moral intuition that you actually don't have to justify or defend.
It's a valid moral intuition, just like anything else is. It's just a moral intuition. Here's the sociologist. I might as well just pull this up. So, I posted this today because it's something that I want to do a deeper dive on. I don't know how many people would be interested in the origins of sociology and how mush and lefty it is. So I said, Grok, is the history of sociology influenced by Marxism? Yes, the history of sociology has been significantly influenced by Marxism. It's widely regarded as one of the... Karl Marx is widely regarded as one of the key foundational thinkers of sociology, alongside Auguste Comte, who attempted to end his own life, failed, and then created something called positivism. And that's why we have sociology. That and Marx are two huge reasons why we have the field of sociology today. Anyway, so this is but he's so he can't get away from that if he's trying to do sociology. So sociology, you have to realize, is inherently going to focus on the minorities in society. It's inherently going to be anti-majority. It's the study of non-majority people. It's what sociology is because it's Marxist. So, I don't know. I don't know how many people will be interested in that, who I'm going to do it with. I don't know.
Actually perfectly valid. We want to be around people that look like you. So, on the topic of white race politics, wouldn't be a complete segment without showing Richard Spencer and Nick Fuentes. By the way, Richard Spencer follows me on Twitter.
There it is again! That's, see? Do you see the small narc tendencies, fellas? This is discernment. Very small things like that has to let you know. So, sociology and anthropology were invaded and subverted decades before the Frankfurt School. Yes. In another life, I was an anthropology major. I love anthropology, but I'm very autodidactic. So that's why I observe the anthropology of the moo-critical Christians. And I discuss it, and I try to, and then same thing with the pro-whites. As someone that is a hyper-individualist, I am very interested in people that genuinely, really die-hard believe in what they believe in. So I tried that on the left, and it was useless because they don't actually believe in anything. Anthropology is very right-wing because you to doing that with the left, it's just all tactics. But then it's much more fun to do right-wing anthropology and study the different subcultures of the right because they genuinely believe in what they're saying.
So I have credentials within the white race community. I just thought this was an interesting clip.
And you say, if that's going to be the path of the most resistance, you know, are we just fighting gravity? Like, are we fighting a completely lose battle? Because I think about even my life, and I think I live in a diverse city, and I prefer it. I'd rather live in a diverse city than live in like the trad Catholic commune in Coeur d'Alene or the trad Catholic city in Kansas. Or
God forbid anyone criticize Nick Fuentes for saying this, or else you're ankle biting him.
The whites only town where
I think you would be a little bored at Back to the Land. Like,
dude, that is them, Frojax, everyone. Watch their interview with Thomas Rousseau. I said this publicly. You guys did the best. And you can tell. Thomas Rousseau was like, wow, you guys really did your research and you're not asking me generic questions. And I'm like, yeah, we actually want to know. They asked him really tough questions, and they asked him questions that really humanized Thomas Rousseau. Because Thomas Rousseau is used to answering things, and he just heard it a bunch of times. That interview, it's not that I was hesitant on him, it's just that I only see him do his actions as he says. But then I understood it way more, the reason why they don't take money. They want your time and they want your devotion instead of your money. And then they do actions 2 or 3 times a year. He explains how it's not expensive, how they do it. And it's actually more meaningful that it's a bunch of them camping out at a campground for like $25. And yeah, dude, unbelievable. If you want to actually just only watch that video on Thomas Rousseau, you will get way more than watching the PBD fucking version of it. I was also watching Frojax today talk to another black. Oh, actually, I did post a clip from that. I did. Ooh, and it was a little spicy of an opinion. Because the guy's like 33. Actually, that's what I was arguing with Tacit Tempo about. Because the guy's 33% black and 52% white, right? And I know Frojax doesn't want to get into the unnecessarily, no pun intended, muddy waters of the race mixing and of the what percentage and whatnot. But I felt like that guy wanted to align with the whites, but he can't because the whites will never accept him. But that'll have to be for a later date. But dude, thanks for popping in, dude.
A third time there was bagpipe music and on Friday night, and I think you might be running away back to Park Slope, Brooklyn or something. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and there's like there's like a boredom because I know there were some people from DC after Trump lost.
It really is a perfect time for Frojax to hop in while Nick Fuentes is talking about how he doesn't want to go to return to the land and just stay in a fucking multicultural city because he likes liberalism so much. Oh, the timing on these fellas.
In 2020, they all fucked off to like.
Also, if you want to see their entire stream from the July 4th action of Patriot Front, I believe their entire stream is up on their Rumble.
Wyoming, and they did the whole LARP off the grid, and they all wanted to kill themselves. They were all calling their friends in DC, hey, how's it going? What's going on? What's new? Because they were bored. And it's like, at the end of the day, we have to grapple with the fact people like the way things are. People are going to complain and bitch, and they'll talk about, I want to be
Yeah, the point is to get them off of the goy slop. Right. Yes. They like the way that things are, and Nick Fuentes likes enabling that. Enabling things is the way that they are, because then he just gets to get paid $100 a month to text with his audience, as opposed to paying Return to Land $25 one time and being a member for life, or paying Patriot Front nothing, but you got to do it with your grit, fellas.
Part of something bigger. People kind of actually like the way things are a lot, and you can see it in their behavior.
2 things on that. First off, listening to how these guys praise today's society is special. How could we ever live without phones? Nick would rather live in a diverse city than among whites. What are we even doing? Uh-oh, the white racialists are getting upset with Nick Fuentes. Don't see white people hassled by the street. I'll take Wyoming nature. City cucks are lost. Interesting. Yeah, this whole issue is fraught because Nick Fuentes saying he likes diversity and all that, and it's pissing off his own viewers. It's interesting. Coleman Hughes, supposedly this highly enlightened, on the cutting edge of memetics. He would never say that, but that's what people who have my framework would attempt to describe it as. Coleman Hughes says there's podcast Nick and then there's real Nick. And podcast Nick is, trying.
Okay, fellas. Okay. We're going to take a small detour just to iron out a behavior, okay? Oh. Cyberchud, $5, thank you. Whoa. When Ardy reads his first book, we're going to have to announce it and do a celebration stream. It'll be very public. Just so you know, P.F. Jung's book, it's a meme book. It's a book of memes. So it does have a lot of pictures, which will be very helpful for me. TNR of enemy, $10, thank you. Marriage should be between individuals that are equally yoked. You can't tell him he's wrong. Tassitempo, $5, thank you. I wonder if that was Fro or Jax. Maybe both. It's probably both. They're inseparable. Now, Fro Jax. Very much like the Yin Yang twins. Now, the Yin Yang twins are not real brothers, okay? But they love making songs about how much they love being brothers. The song Duo by Frojax is all about how much they love being brothers, and it gave me Yin Yang Twins feelings. Not the musical styles, of course. But they're attached to the hip, bro. Like they might as well be twins with how much they like being brothers. Commissar, $5, thank you. Hey man, been watching your stuff and would like to say you and Fist have me thinking about going to check the Orthodox Church near me. I mean, if it's not that far, there's fellows that travel pretty far to go to the Orthodox Church. There's nothing you have to do. They're unbelievably nice, and you just follow along. And nobody yells at you. I don't know, like, yeah. Also, let me know if you've been to church before, or when the last time you have been, or if you have not been to church. Now, fellas, there is no rhetorically defective without Who Are These Podcasts, okay? If you look at my oldest videos, I was making compilation videos of this very channel. This is the lineage of the Opie and Anthony radio show of Jocktober, which I got the privilege to grow up around that didn't exist anywhere else. The original OG making fun of people, okay? The torch has been passed on to them. And now this is Jerry Banfield, and you can see it says one-on-one call. Now this guy wants to charge people money for having a one-on-one call with him, okay? Now, of course, P.F. Jung is not going to be this much of a lol cow, but it's going to be in this vein of there's a type of person on the internet now that's like, you know what? People should pay to talk to me. People need my advice, and I should charge them for a private call. The types of people that do that oftentimes show us very silly things of themselves on the internet, and today will be no exception.
After that, I went home kind of sad. I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh man, don't be an idiot. You've overinvested. I was all excited all week about this woman. And then I'm like, I need to pull back, quick, pull back. It's too much. It's overboard. You don't even know her. Like, he's
thinking about asking a woman out. Of course, he's recently divorced, and he took out $50,000 on a credit card. It's too many things. It's too many things he's doing wrong. He's too embarrassing to tell you all of them right now.
You need to stop this.
This is the man I need to have a 30-minute phone call with to fix my life. This is so sad. Remember that we played a dating video, which was like, I'm not going on dates anymore?
Yes.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Girls don't like me.
There's these types of people, like Jerry Banfield, that are like, say all this, they tell you too much information. It's kind of like fucking counterpoints. Too much information about yourself. Stop using the audience like a therapy session.
It's the sitar. That's offensive. Like, well, no, there's a country named sitar or something like that. Or guitar.
Sitar?
This is what the phone call will sound like.
It's an instrument, not a country.
And I'm going to be doing this with P.F. Jung, where this is what the phone call is going to sound like. There's a couple more because it's really embarrassing.
At this point, who knows? Maybe it's the right thing for you.
I got you a gift.
Did you like
Blue Label?
Why does he think being a life coach, you're supposed to complain a lot and talk about your own problem?
Now that is Adam Bush, who was on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and the Mystery Files of Shelby Woo, I'll have you know. But that's a good point. That's a very good point.
Supposed to complain a lot and talk about your own problem.
You shouldn't be talking about your own problems, right? Go to your therapist and do that. But people go to therapy and they go, oh, I just want to talk about my problems more.
It's going about this the wrong way. Also, he's like,
and let us cap it off here.
Or something to buy enterprise. So what he's describing right now tells me that no one needs life coaching more than Jerry Banfield does.
Yes.
on a manic ride.
PF Jung probably needs life coaching. He probably needs to pay someone $75 for an hour to talk to them. He probably already does.
He's spiraling. He's spending money frantically.
Terrific. Terrific. Now, fellas, are you ready for the announcement? Now, this is July 10th. This is 2 days ago. Here's the official announcement for the channel. Now, you should know that he didn't release any videos for like 2 weeks. Before I said this, 2 weeks ago, this video is 2 days ago. So he didn't release any videos for 2 weeks. Mind you, his videos are getting 3.6 thousand views, 4,000 views, 4,000 views, 7,000 views, 4,000 views. He was getting... Now, here's the thing. Here's what's tough. He was doing well. 7 months ago, 154,000. The channel was doing well, okay? Then he releases no videos for a couple weeks. And then comes out with these special announcements.
After reflecting long and hard on all the love this channel has received over the past few years, I have decided to make a formal contribution to the academic discourse by writing a book. The book is tentatively titled How to Win a Meme War.
So he's going to tell you how to win the meme war, okay? Now, you would want to learn that from somebody that appears as though they were winning the meme war, okay?
And it will be a first principle summary of all of my best and most sophisticated applied sociology concepts that regular viewers of this channel have.
Sophisticated applied sociology concepts. Oh, this guy. You just gotta listen to this guy. Does he have anything to show for it of why you should listen to him? Not really, but like, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's releasing a book. Oh, it's gonna change the world when he releases this book.
I've come to know and love. Me and my editor Theo have already completed the first draft, and we're going to pay a professional graphic designer to redo all the artistically detailed visuals to really give the book a coherent design and make the infographics pop. Now, as the Jeffrey Epstein of YouTube politics, I obviously have all these inexplicable connections with these famous online YouTube intellectuals.
Yeah, so like he's done content with, over the years, Destiny, Vosh, Andrew Wilson recently. He couldn't have any more of a leg up, okay? Just like counterpoints, okay? Talk to all these people. You couldn't have any more of a leg up. And somehow I'm getting more monthly views than you. I don't know how it happens.
So I'm going to try and get as much feedback from a wide variety, a diverse range of ideological perspectives to really refine and create something that's really cool. We're shooting for the moon on this. And my editor, Theo, read a book about how to sell a book. And one of the...
My friend read a book on how to sell a book. You need to listen to this guy, fellas.
Things that it suggested is getting together a launch team. So if you are interested in supporting this channel, if you're interested in seeing what happens if I write a book and it pops off, and suddenly things go crazy.
You see the delusions of grandeur? Do you see it in his face that this book, a book popping off in 2026? You're a YouTuber, okay? A book popping off. It's just a PDF, dude, but he wants the smell of the book, and he physically created something, and he's doing something so important.
If you're interested in seeing what happens if I write a book and it pops off and suddenly things go crazy, and I'm talking to Joe Rogan about...
He's imagining himself on Joe Rogan. This is Lindsay all over again, dude. It's incredible. Now, this is amazing. Reading a book on how to sell a book to tell your friend how to sell a book about meme warfare. Fellas, did he lie? That is, look at his crazy eyes right now. Yep. That's how you have to look to do that. Absolutely.
Not Israel. I wouldn't do that. You can head to the website linked below in the description in the pinned comment and just add your email. And when the book gets released, all kinds of wonderful stuff will be informed to you, and that you will be notified, and it'll be great. Now, another potentially interesting announcement is that I get emails all the time from people asking to talk or to consider this idea.
He very much emits this vibe. Like he spoke at a college recently, okay? So again, it's what I've said before. This is the hubris, and this is a play for legitimacy, okay? He wants to be viewed as legitimate in some way, shape, or form, okay? Now, I believe this comes from not being at peace with yourself and not having a strong sense of self. He's always searching, always trying. I'm the dark centrist. I don't agree with anybody, okay? Being very cantankerous like that, which I understand, okay? I get it. But understand what you are, okay? But he's always overcompensating.
Of one kind or another, long emails from people. And unfortunately, I don't have the time. However, in order to make it sustainable, I am now offering people the ability to book 1-hour calls with me for a modest consulting fee. You can use this time to run any ideas by me, getting advice on starting.
I need to see these conversations. I desire it.
In a YouTube channel or writing a Substack, or just talking about literally whatever you're interested in with me. I've posted 3 calls I've done with 3 different people who've all presented their ideas to me, and you can go check those out and see what the call.
In the description. So he said those are posted in the description. He said they're posted in the description, and I don't see them. This is just a link to give him $75. This is to subscribe to his Substack. He didn't. So this is how chaotically his brain, how chaotic his brain is, where you didn't even do that. I was going to make that. Oh, it would have been fantastic. But they're not there. Now, what that led to was something I'm going to show you a little after this.
Is kind of about. And I have not officially advertised this anywhere. I mentioned it on stream a couple times, and it's available on Patreon. And I've already had like 10 people sign up, some with repeat calls. So if you're interested, you can go to my Patreon and you don't have to become a member. You can just buy the Patreon post to book a 1-hour call, and then we can set something up that fits in both of our
Like, you idiot, you said that they're in the description and they're not.
Why? Schedules. And go from there. And lastly, I am taking my talents to campus. I'm going back to college. Not actually. But one of the reasons I moved to Austin is because of its proximity to big academic institutions. And I've already given 1 talk at a philosophy organization at UT, and I've made a lot of good connections. And
Isn't this incredible? Based on, like, this is a shyster. This is a snake oil salesman. How to win the meme war. And he understands psychology and sociology so much. We're going to... Don't worry, fellas. I got something up my sleeve, okay?
Tentatively scheduled to do another one in September. I'm actually getting flown out to an undisclosed location on the East Coast at the behest of a political organization, and I'm going to do some interviews and some networking there. So keep on the lookout for any announcements related to in-person events. To put it simply, the through line through all these announcements is that I am trying to take what I am doing, whatever it is, to the next level. As my influence grows and as my ability to sustain this channel and my efforts grows with it.
The ability to sustain this channel, now this is on July 10th, okay? To sustain this channel, remember that.
I can do things like talk to more interesting people and maybe upgrade to a real studio and do some crazy interesting stuff. Maybe start talking to actual politicians. I don't know. We'll see.
Dude! Why do you feel so important? That would be so cool. I talked to Destiny. And he's my friend, and I talked to fucking Andrew Wilson, I talked to these people, talked to JJ McCullough, who has 1 million subscribers, he talked to FD Signifier, who has 1 million subscribers. He keeps talking to these people, but he can't carry any of the audience back to himself.
See, all I want to say is strap in and strap on, because it's going to be a fun ride. And let me just say here at the end, if you are a supporter on my Patreon or even just a YouTube member, I genuinely appreciate it. You are...
A YouTube member? He only has an option for $2 a month on here. Why? Why? Don't you have anything substantial? Even I, like, customize the loyalty badges. For what? He doesn't even have... Do you see it? This is a narc property, okay? They have a lot of ideas, but they don't put in any actual work. You see this with James Lindsay. Still. He's very lazy and doesn't put in any actual work and just wants to be paid to bloviate and, like, listen to his ideas. He doesn't actually put in really that much work at all. Now, fellas, I know what you're thinking. Is he full-time? Of course he's full-time. Now, here's how he feels, honestly, about doing YouTube full-time.
You're doing YouTube now as your main thing. How do you feel about that?
It's a great question.
Because YouTube is a fickle bitch. She really is.
Very much. I'm split. Because on the one hand, I'll start with the negative. I would like to do the classic, get married, have a bunch of kids, and go coach my kid's soccer team or whatever. Not soccer, baseball. Sorry. Didn't want to offend anybody. And making YouTube videos about particular, like, theological disputes between church fathers, or not that That's recently what I've been more doing. But just generally making videos about political commentary is not a great way to meet women. Let's put it in the simplest sense. So maybe
not the great way to meet the kind of women you want to
true.
meet.
So in that sense, there's a big part of me that's like, okay, even if I have success on YouTube, I get a lot of views or whatever. It's not. This goes to straight up Jordan Peterson stuff.
Yeah.
Like everything you do needs to be nested in a broader goal. Like every individual micro action is imbued with meaning only to the degree that it advances a higher order goal. So if I'm sitting here editing a video, even if it does well, it's like, well, how does that advance me towards my broader goal of like, find community, partner up, get married, all that stuff. And so in that sense, it's not moving me towards that direction.
Me doing YouTube full time.
On the other hand,
I notice how all of his content isn't edited content. Nowadays it's just from streams. He used to make edited content. Like his popular videos were League of Politics. And he would make them into champions and like give them video game characteristics and like stats and attributes. He used to make edited content, but nowadays he is just posting live streams.
Will die if I don't have a creative outlet. I'll smother everyone around me, which is that's probably why I started it, because most of my friends did not care about politics at all, aside from like the very left wing ones who I'd argue with all the time. So I needed
his political beliefs. He's so important.
Creative outlet. I do enjoy having conversations. I said the most valuable thing that's come out of this channel, which I would not have anticipated, was the connections of like, okay, now I talk to you, I've made friends, and I've gone up to Toronto 3 times, and
he like travels for his YouTube and whatnot. Okay, he's making connections like in real life, and nothing is sticking.
And stayed up at like a studio of these like big YouTubers, and even just people who someone will email me, hey, I'm a teacher, or I'm a whatever, and I like your stuff, and okay, now it's like,
mind you, he wants this book to be used by teachers, okay, as like a teaching manual, a teaching aid. His book that he's making.
I didn't anticipate. This is going to sound. I don't know how it'll sound. It is true, absolutely, that the internet favors or the internet attracts weird people. No doubt. If you are not socially well adjusted, the internet works to your advantage, and that was the case early on, certainly.
He doesn't have the twitches. But like the way that he talks, and he's kind of like bouncing around, like what he's saying, and he's not necessarily like arriving at a point, but
now because like I said, I grew up with the internet. Everyone's grown up with the internet. The internet, digital natives is the term. Like people now are digital natives.
Digital natives,
perfectly normal, socially well-adjusted people who, are actually people that you would want to be in contact with and surround yourself with, and are doing real things and all that. And so the biggest value that's come out of this channel is connecting to people. I'm able to leverage it in real life, quote unquote, in terms of like I live in Austin, so I've emailed professors at UT, like, hey, I have a YouTube channel and I'm interested in things, and potentially do an interview and all that. And so there's a path down that I can go.
Now Jay Burden does interviews. People watch those interviews. Now there must be something about your interviews, Paul, that people just don't really care for.
And this whole time that I've been doing YouTube full time, I've been spending a good amount of time being more like consciously social in terms of like, I volunteer at the animal shelter and I go to church, and I have more time to do.
Volunteers at the animal shelter, goes to church, he's doing YouTube full time. He's really working on himself, right?
The kind of things that would move me towards the broader goals. So it's a nice mix. I have to strike the right balance, but it's very easy to wake up, make videos, go to the gym where they have like a yard area.
He's not putting that much work into his videos.
So I go to the gym and it's like prison. I just get my 40 minutes of work. I get my 20 minutes of sun. I sauna and I come back and that's videos all again. So as long as I can avoid that, which I've been much better about in the past couple months, like even just going to the coffee shop to work, meet.
Right. Now, are you ready? This is December 15th of 2025. How he's talking about how he feels about doing YouTube full time. Now, when I was looking for the clips of him talking to these people for this like one-on-one session, I couldn't find them. I found his update for patrons on January 2nd. This is 2 weeks after he talked about doing YouTube full time.
Now, for me personally, I will absolutely be seeking employment this year. Whether
you might think to yourself, how 6 months later do we arrive at consulting, paying him for consulting, right? I'm also going to be wondering the same thing. Oh, this update's great.
It's part-time, maybe even full-time. But we'll see. Basically, I mean, I knew when I quit my job that I was never going to make YouTube a long-term, sustainable, full-time thing. That
He quit his job that paid well to do YouTube full-time, knowing that he wouldn't be able to do YouTube full-time. Oh, yeah, that feels brilliant. Oh, yeah, dude, I'm seeing it. This is why I say, fellas, I am an eternal part-timer, okay? I'm always technically part-time. I've seen what can happen to the YouTube channel. Do you think if I relied on this channel solely as my sole source of income, I'd be able to give you such great takes as being the miscegenator, okay? I need room to sabotage myself, okay? I can't make this full-time. But honestly, you know, I've felt myself getting caught up in number go up, and I'm like, oh god, this is becoming obnoxious. Where my brain is starting to want to chase a number, which is why, I mean, a couple weeks ago I didn't release any, I think, edited content for like 2 weeks, and I just didn't have to, and it was nice. I don't have to like force myself to try and find things to talk about. But again, he stacked this. He's telling everyone that now I'm full time, and this is. If people, be very weary of people that are talking about what they're going to do, okay? Just do it silently. Like Lil Wayne said, real G's move in silence like lasagna, okay? If you're going to be doing it, just be doing it in the background, all right? Zafariman, $5, thank you. PF's advice for white Americans is to focus on a negative identity. That's what it sounded like. I didn't hear anything positive. Not a lot of depth to them when you think about it. What should they assimilate to? It's just a CivNat. I mourn Anglo-America daily. I know. And it's pretty complicated. Or is it?
it's just not in the cards. It's not possible unless I was part of some sort of media group, basically. But I wanted to, focus on it and get some key videos and things out that I've been wanting to do for a while.
You could have done that with a job, okay? Keep your job, keep your money coming in, and then YouTube. But he has this sense of importance. Oh, he's got his applied sociology.
I'm going to continue to do that. But I even thought about maybe doing like trade school or something. With AI coming out.
Don't say this. Don't make this public. Don't force my hand. I'm even thinking of going back to trade school. This is 2 weeks after he just talked about, like, I'm full time. Here's what it's like. Deepcom, $5. Is his actual last name Jung? No. It's like Jungian, Carl Jung, because he's really into psychology. Does he use his online identity to make people think of Carl Jung? Yes. Is he JPB maxing? Yes. Forehead maxing? Absolutely, without question. But do you see how? So my retarded brain will just come up with something. I'm not like, what's the next thing I have to come up with? My brain will just come up with something organically, right? For me to put myself in a position to force myself to come up with like a theory, like a way to view the world, it's like, dude, everyone's already done that. You might be able to like tweak something a little bit, but you're putting way too much on yourself, and I'm going to be here to watch you.
My older brother's an electrician, and he likes it, and there seems to be a lot of opportunity. So we'll see. We'll see. But I believe that's all I wrote. I guess the gist of it is I need to be able to make what I'm doing online sustainable for me.
Yeah.
In terms of meaning and emotion.
In terms of meaning and emotion. Okay? Fellas, I make content on YouTube. I'm Cartoon Boogerman, right? The first thing I need to do is try to entertain you guys, okay? Are there things that I find important and want to talk about? Do I talk about them sometimes? Yes, but know what you are, okay? This like sense of importance, dude. It is just the hubris I need.
And I cannot just continue to make videos and have conversations. Part of it is, for those of you who've been around and watched my channel for a while, you remember
You have to realize, okay, he was making videos with Destiny. He's like talked to really popular YouTubers that have 1 million subscribers, and he's like, this is it. This is it. This is my big chance. I can do it. Here's what I don't get. He has fucking Spoon Man disease. He has aristocratic utensil fucking disease. Now, at least he has live videos. Aristocratic Utensil doesn't have any live streams on his channel, which is fucking crazy. PF Jung, do you know what I would do with 38,000 subscribers? Do you know the the damage I could do, okay? He's got fucking 7 streams from 2 years ago. The last stream's from 11 months ago. So he knows how to stream. And stream conversations with other people. And talk to popular people. So why can't you stream? He does stream, actually. And he does what? Oh my god, he does what William does. He unlists the stream, which I'll be able to show you a little bit of the stream, okay? Hey, trust this guy. Look, it's generic. It just says description. It's automated, and he doesn't even fill out what the fuck it is, dude. So all he does now is he live streams, but then he unlists it, and then he just cuts like 1 or 2 videos from the live stream. It's like the laziest thing you could possibly fucking do. Why? Why are you doing that? Stream more, then. If you're like full-time, do you think it's that like you weren't putting out enough fucking content for calling yourself full-time, possibly?
Period of time, I talked a lot about transgender children, would debate people on that. I don't really talk about it anymore because it's like, look, I've said what I've needed to say, and I think the culture is moving in a certain direction. That issue's, it's over. I mean, if I'm correct that it's degenerate and pseudoscience, then the data will bear that out. Now with a lot of like the current stuff, Israel, anti-Semitism, stuff like that. That's not much better. I'm seeing people like
me. He's like a fucking broad over here. He's acting like a fucking clam. Speaking of which, Mrs. D, $5, thank you. Good to see you, gentlemen. Clam out. Whoa, Black Betty, clam a lamb. Whoa, Black Betty, clam a lamb. Excuse me. You fellas know what I get when the clams are around. Thank you.
I don't have conversations like when I talk to Destiny. My point is not necessarily to convince. My point is, here's what I believe. Let me.
Oh my god, am I in a fucking therapy session right now? God, dude. Everything's therapy now, fellas. We got some meat for you before I show you his live stream. Okay. December 15th, talking about what it's like to be full-time YouTuber. January 2nd, I need to get a job. This is not sustainable. February 17th, here's why all my viewers should start their own YouTube channel. It really is starting to feel like Brilliant, dude. It really is starting to feel like it. We're all over the fucking map over here. Oh, this is delicious. This is delicious.
If any of you have ever had the thought, if I had the time and capacity, I believe I could develop a following on YouTube that would allow me to contribute positively to the cultural, intellectual, and or political discourse. If you feel like you've ever had that thought, you should do it. Make the YouTube channel.
So, like, now I know that me and Fist will bring things up that are frustrating, and you don't know what to do about it, right? I'm like, dude, there's other people that have solutions. We're going to do church, preferably Orthodox, church, and we have Return to the Land. Patriot Fund's a little more specified, but you know, you're getting really, like, if you're that frustrated about it and it's really causing you distress and you're tired of doing nothing, those are 2. Imagine if I was like, hey, you gotta start eating right, go into the gym, you know, fire up the dating profile. Dude, shut the fuck up. You don't want to fucking hear that from me, dude. Come on, I'm 40 and single, all right? He's also single, by the way, as well. It's like, dude, chill. What does this need? What does this Jerry Banfield need to fucking give people advice? But of course, there's a small group of people that are like, oh, I need advice so badly. You know, it really is like taking advantage of people.
Contribute positively to the discourse. Make the attempt. Why? Here's what happens. Even if you are getting 0 views, you're building a portfolio of work. If you have good ideas, creating a YouTube channel, starting a Substack, whatever it is, gives you an excuse and a reason to formalize those ideas and document them, and then you can refine them later on. I'm going to show you something crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, this video, Revolutionary Memes, was made January 31st, 2021. This is almost more than 5 years ago. Okay, this currently sits at 270 views. This video is the first video where I created the slide, what a gene is to genetics, a meme is to memetics.
Like, all right, fellas, sometimes I'll have a good one-liner or something, or a decent idea, and it's carried forward, all right? Imagine Imagine the hubris I would need. He's like, this is where I created it, okay? It started small, and look what it's become. Have you guys heard of this? The memes and memetics, and he thinks this world is so big that he's in.
Ideas are made up of memes. I was using blue instead of purple, which is such a mistake because everyone knows the color of culture is purple because of Civilization 5, 6, and 7. This video has 270 views. This is where I got that slide that I now use. Okay, here it is. 65,000 views made less than a year ago. Within 26 seconds. What is the thing that captures everyone's attention? It's the same thing. Do you understand? Do you understand? If you have good ideas, you write them down, you formalize them. Doesn't matter if nobody watches them. You can refine.
This is like a get-rich-quick scheme, okay? And this makes me think he wanted a bunch of people to start up their YouTube channels, and guess what they might need help on for $75 for an hour. He is getting all of his fucking people, as many of you as humanly possible, please start up a YouTube channel. Few months later. So, you guys, just in case you need any help with your YouTube channels I told you to start up, all of your good ideas. That's snake oil talk.
On them later. You are building your portfolio. This gave me an excuse, the YouTube channel, because I was interested in, all right, I'm going to watch lectures and then I'm going to cut up clips and use them for videos. It gave me an excuse to sit down and take lecture notes on Robert Sapolsky's Human Behavioral Biology lecture. 20 million views 15 years ago. Great stuff. Okay. Now, has this actually improved my knowledge? It has, actually, quite significantly. It's hard to say. There's a few specific things I've taken away, but you don't realize how much information gets implicitly put in your brain, which then affects, your whole worldview later on, even though you don't realize that that's what's affecting it. And I went through and I sat through these and, flipped them up because the excuse was, okay.
Do you see how it's me all over again? Right? Very sneaky narc tendencies.
I could have a timestamp that I could then put into a video. Okay, and I've cited Robert Sapolsky many, many, many times. So great stuff. If you have a YouTube channel, if you have a creative outlet, it gives you an excuse to do things, to be productive. Learning basic communication skills. If you just learn how to talk to a camera, that's a valuable skill. I'm going to show you this guy's channel. This guy is Sam Pope 40K. This guy has 1,700 subscribers. Look at these titles and thumbnails. What is this?
Did he just fucking say, look at these titles and thumbnails? Remnant's probably not here. Dude, he's saying, look at these titles and thumbnails. Motherfucker, what are you talking about? Here's this guy's thumbnails, okay? The only difference is that there's a fucking split screen with you fucking talking to somebody. What are you talking about? Let's go to his videos. I love this too. So, here's how little P.F. Jung has learned, all right? Yes, narc is a narcissist. So, P.F. Jung didn't show his face, okay? We got Hitler, some guy, Nick Fuentes, 154,000. Doesn't show his face, and look at all of these views. He shows his face, but Destiny's in the fucking thumbnail. Doesn't show his face, still going well. Shows his face with sunglasses and mustache, but guess what? Andrew Wilson's in the fucking thumbnail. We got Jordan Peterson, Destiny in the thumbnail. His face is in the thumbnail, but Destiny's face is in the thumbnail. He talks to Vosh, Jordan Peterson. His face is in the thumbnail, but FD Signifier with 1 million subs in the fucking thumbnail, okay? Now let's look at his thumbnails nowadays. It's his face in the thumbnails. Your face isn't a fucking draw for the fucking video! Your face isn't the draw. Put anything else. Yeah, James Lindsay's fucking face in the thumbnail, dude. Stop, P.F. Jung. Nobody gives a fuck about your face. Your face is not a draw in the fucking thumbnail, okay? Look at this. He didn't even make a fucking thumbnail. It's literally just him talking to the fucking guy, and he didn't even make the thumbnail. You fucking idiot. Let's hear that criticism again, genius.
Just learned 40K. Guys, 1,700 subscribers. Look at these titles and thumbnails. What is this? How to beat melee-centric armies. Endless amounts of text on the awful, terrible thumbnails. No subscribers. I watch all of these videos. Why? Because this guy is intelligent and
Dude, I wish you guys could hear. The only time me and Remnant even come close to severing ties, okay? The most vicious arguments we get into are about thumbnails. It's the only time we fucking argue viciously, okay? He spends a lot of time on thumbnails, right? So he doesn't want to believe that he's spending so much time on something that may not mean that much, right? That I spend little time on thumbnails, right? I don't want to believe that I'm missing out on a lot when I could be spending more time on thumbnails. It'll never be rectified. It's the only time we go at each other about thumbnails. It'll come out of nowhere.
Knows how to communicate something that I'm interested in. This person has good ideas, has some insight, and is conveying it to a webcam, and in the process also learning how to communicate.
Do we see the meta conversation? Do we see the leftiness? Do we see the sociology right now? So here's what I'm doing right now, guys, okay? What I'm doing is I'm watching a video, but I'm not only doing that, okay? I'm actually setting up the clip beforehand, okay? To psychologically prime you to have an expectation of what you're... Don't talk about the thing, do the thing. Yeah, but this video was talking about what I'm going to be talking about.
To a camera. My main point here is that if you have something to say and you can just look into a camera and say it, you have so much leverage.
This is just not true. It's just not that easy. I know that you can do it, Paul. You have no shame. You're showing that right now by telling everyone that you need to find a job and then they should pay you to be a consultant. It takes a really fucking low level of shame to fucking do that, dude, okay? You can't just create YouTubers. You can't just do that. Some people just have whatever that is inside of them to do it in whatever way, in whatever capacity.
And people will respond to your insight if you actually have it and can just do the bare basics when it comes to communicating, okay? Do it. It's very, very valuable. What else? What's the thing everyone says nowadays? There's too many podcasts. Everyone's got a podcast nowadays. There's too many... Are you nuts?
No, dude. Here's something that will catch you off guard about Remnant, and it catches me off guard. It catches me off guard every time. Oh no, you got sweaty Ardy right now. Now we're in trouble. What does Remnant say when he gets angry? Oh, you darn fool. That dude fucking N-bombs like a motherfucker sometimes, dude. He can swear. It's so funny. Like, he doesn't consider slurs offensive at all. They're not offensive to him. You would think they are, but they're not at all. And he'll go off. Not on me.
Are you nuts? If you are fighting a war, you're like, oh, there's too many soldiers. There's too many people on our team advocating for good ideas. But we are in a meme war, ladies and gentlemen. We are in a meme war. We need more soldiers. We need people advocating for good ideas, okay?
See, now he's appealing to the left right now. This is kind of like the proletariat, right? This cause is very important. We need you committed to doing what, dude? See, there's no depth. That's the narc tendency. Very vague, impressionistic speech, right? But what is he actually saying? Oh, there's no detail. What's an American? Someone who's willing to give up to be Polish.
Different people and personalities appeal to different mimetic fuel hierarchies. What do I mean? Again, basic mimetic fuelism idea. How many times?
Remnant, did you see his thumbnails? Remnant, dude. He was just trashing this other guy's thumbnails, okay? Look at his fucking thumbnails. Isn't that incredible, dude? He's trashing another man's thumbnails on the day of the Lord. Look at this, dude. Look at how he doesn't put any effort into these thumbnails at all whatsoever. I could have Remnant come on right now and just tear these apart, but we might start arguing. No, I promise we won't. Oh, it's all fun.
Has everyone watching this come across an idea 5 separate times? Oh, I heard this from someone, I heard this from someone, I heard this from someone. And you go, I don't really care about it. But then someone you trust, your friend or maybe a social media influencer you follow, they finally say it, they finally talk about it, and then you go, suddenly now this is important. Oh, you look into it, and oh my God, I should have been looking into this the moment I heard it. People only receive ideas when they're filtered through a complex network of influence and charisma and memes. And so you actually need that at the local level.
Just have charisma, okay?
You might be the only person your friend group trusts when it comes to politics. Don't abdicate your responsibility. But my point is, you can curate a small network of people. Here's what you need to do. You need to become a minor mimetic feudal lord. Okay, this is what I mean. This is Crusader Kings 3, everyone. And
do you see how it starts? I heard everything you said and agree, except for the low effort thumbnails being okay. This is how it starts every time, dude.
Very simply, basically, what this is you have all the big kingdoms, right? You have all the big ideologies. And then within each of these, you have these minor nobles, right? These minor lords. This is how influence and ideas work. Okay, where like imagine you have everyone here in the white here. This is all, what would we say? This is all, or whatever. You could think of it as MAGA. It doesn't matter what the ideology is. You can think of an ideology with...
Should I really pay him $75? What would I talk to him about? Should I really do that? What would I ask him? I could do that. I feel bad doing that, though. I don't know, man. I like making fun of somebody from a distance, but like to waste his time like that? I don't know.
This whole territory represents the entirety of the ideology. And the emperor here with the big crown is like, you know, if this is MAGA, then this is Trump, right? But all of these people are minor influencers. Maybe this is Benny Johnson, maybe this is Ben Shapiro, whatever. And then even more local areas, you get more and more ingrained, get to the
Remnant is he seems polite, okay? And the slurs are fine. The slurs are welcome. He's a fucking thumbnail bully. Okay, I fucking said it.
little like mayors of the city or the local knight who has a thing of peasants. That's you. That's you. You understand? Your goal in contributing to the great meme war is to become, if your goal is to contribute to the meme war, okay, maybe you don't necessarily need to do it directly, but all you need to do is become a good minor vassal, right? Be the person.
What are the memes he's talking about, right? Vague and impressionistic?
That everyone in your church or everyone in your workplace looks up to or admires when it comes to ideas. Because then what you can do is then, hey, some Jordan Peterson says some really good thing about psychology, and then I cite that in one of my videos, and then you take that idea to your friend group and you say, hey, maybe you should stop, pretending that your childhood has no bearing on who you are as an adult, because it definitely does. And people need to hear that. And
oh my God, fellas, let's relax with the everything comes from your childhood. Your childhood is so long ago that somebody can prime you and start to have you falsify memories. I've tried to remember things from when I was a child, and I can catch myself going, I'm just trying to make up the memory because I don't remember at this point. That shit's like fucking evil, bro. We're always pointing things to like when you were a kid. I don't know, man. It's that's like the basis of all fucking therapy, and a lot of these therapy motherfuckers are fucking weirdos that are not well adjusted.
they might not hear it from someone who's just listening to it on a video, right? To some faraway king or emperor, right? But they will listen to it when this is you. Okay, this is you. You are Duke Berthold, ladies and gentlemen, or Duke Ottokar. Be a minor lord. Okay, influence is structured hierarchically. Let me give you some quick examples. Anton fucking Edwards. Anton has not posted new videos, and we won't dog him too much for that. Okay. But anyway, Anton's made a couple of videos. I believe I've watched all of them. Anton makes this point in this video that Beauty and the Beast, which Jordan Peterson loves. Okay. And Anton and I are big, massive meaning fans, not Jordan Peterson fans. Big difference. Peterson.
He also has like a closer relationship with people than it actually is. He seems to feel like he has a close relationship with these people, and he like really wants to make like friends like very badly.
Always talks about Beauty and the Beast and how important it is and how all feminists hate it and they want to ruin it. And Anton very eloquently.
Oh, dude, I love it. I love how he was getting pissed. Why don't you just fucking do it then, BF? Exactly. Be weary of the talkers.
Makes the point in this video. Hey, Beauty and the Beast is.
Have you guys known someone in your personal life that's like, dude, I got this idea, man. Got this idea of something I'm gonna do, and you hear that enough times where you're like, how's the idea going after 5 years, dude? Like, okay, like there has to be implementation. Stop talking about it, start taking steps toward doing it. It gets very frustrating.
About a guy who basically kidnaps a woman, and like forces her against her will to stay in the castle. That doesn't mean the underlying archetype is wrong. It means maybe there's a better go-to example in the modern context that would more correctly, deliver.
Yeah, what is he, middle class William? He's $50K a year, William.
All the information about the positive masculine and the positive feminine. And that's what he goes on this whole video. It's great. And now that sticks in my mind that I use. So this is what I'm talking about. Small channel. You don't know who's watching. And even sometimes you do know who's watching. And you certainly don't know who will watch in the future. Okay. And again, this video, it was bad when I did it. It doesn't matter. You're building a portfolio of work you can refine on later. Next thing is you need to be authentic. This essay, I need everyone to strap in for a moment.
Dude, how does this actually work? Did he post these videos somewhere in his Patreon? If you guys could go to his fucking, Patreon somewhere in here and tell me if you can find any videos that he referenced. I really want to watch those, and I didn't have time or the will to dig.
Look, this thing is, I don't know how many pages long. I did not read it. I don't advise it. Maybe I should. I don't know. I don't read that much. Okay. But I read the first paragraph and it changed my life. I read the other day, this is Self-Reliance, Ralph Waldo Emerson. This is like one of the most cited, you hear some tech bro and they're like, oh, I read Self-Reliance and it changed my life. That kind of shit. Okay. The original Jordan Peterson. People are upset that I just made that comparison, but that's fine. Here we go. This defines how you should operate if you're trying to contribute positively to the cultural discourse. I read the other day some verses written by an eminent painter, an Austrian painter, now, which were original and not conventional. The soul always hears an admonition in such lines, let the subject be what it may. The sentiment they instill is of more value than any thought they contain.
See? Do you see why I hate people that read? He's like reading right now and he's like, can you just take in what I'm reading right now? I love saying I hate reading. And here we have Enrico Palazzo, 69. He did the number, fellas. And you want to know what happens when you do the number? You get an affirmation. And fellas, honestly, when you're gifting memberships to this channel, you're supporting a white, because if you're not supporting me, or even supporting white people...
How are you going to be pro-white? You're not even going to support me.
I mean, come on, fellas. But seriously, please watch the 100% of Groypers are black and gay, and the members-only live streams, which I'll be adding more of those as well. And there's also really embarrassing videos of me from 2017, 2018, 2019, trying to figure out politics, man, okay? I still said the N-word. It's so hard to explain what my, politics were. I've been this version of myself for a very long time. I just thought that we should have a minimum wage. I've felt this way for a very long time. I just thought that there was one human race. There's one race, the human race. A lot of other things were, the same about me as I am now. I've always been capitalist. I've never been socialist. And I've always said the N-word. There's been that's really what's held me together, fellas.
To believe our own thought, to believe that what is true for you in your private heart is true for all men, that is genius. Speak your latent conviction, and it shall become the universal sense. For the inmost...
Please, no. Is there a fucking debate about thumbnails on my fucking chat right now?
In due time becomes the outmost. Don't even need to read the rest of the essay, okay? That's the key thing. To believe in our own thought, to believe that what is true for you in your private heart is true for all men, that is genius. Ladies and gentlemen, all of those schizophrenic PowerPoint diagrams that I make, they are made manifest because I read that line. And I know all of you, most of you, have...
Whoa, those things are really important, huh?
Frameworks in your mind of some kind. You're just like, there's this dynamic, and it might be super specific, might be about people, psychology, whatever it is, but I know there's this dynamic there, and it's very hard to grasp. But if I sat down and made a little PowerPoint, and even just fucking open up Microsoft Paint and get in the basics, Jordan Peterson's maps of meanings diagrams are 2D Microsoft Paint stuff, okay? The point is, get that shit on paper. And don't, oh, how do I grow my views and all that shit? Nobody gives a shit.
Oh, I see the issue. I was clicking on just a simple collection of what is there, fellas, okay? We do have some recent posts. Oh, you mean I could watch these? Oh, they're going to be sharing things, aren't they? Yeah, that looks good. That would be rude. That would be too much. I think that would be too rich for my blood. If he made something public. Yeah. Ooh, a preview.
First thing, Eric, tell me about yourself. Who are you? What's your background? How old are you? Are you religious? Are you married? Are you single? What is the deal? I saw a wedding ring on your thing. That's why I'm asking it.
My name's Eric. I'm 27. I'll be 28 this year. I am married. I got married in 2022.
Holy shit, he wants to be the therapist. Holy shit, dude. Stay the fuck away, dude. That's fucking weird, dude. That's a red flag right there. Come on, tell me about yourself. Hey, thank you. I really appreciate that. Hey, non-sleeper, thank you for the $10. It's really nice of you, you know? You didn't have to do that. Wow, thanks. I'm just blown away by your generosity. Hope you have a good rest of your night, okay? Kindly, you left a message. You didn't have to, but I appreciate that. PF's brain has been broken and destroyed by liberal intellectualism. He needs to be sent to an asylum. See, I don't know. I was never like that because that was always gay to me, and I would try to make it funny, kind of. I don't know. That's too soft. That's too effeminate for me. Look at all these. Do people really? How many people? 140 paid members. That is incredible. So okay, so he's really holding on to his Patreon. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Get the good ideas and the good memes out there. Okay? It is not the quest for glory. It's the meme war. We have a meme war to win. Again, going back to the mimetic feudal idea, you have a little fiefdom. And by putting forward your authentic, unique insights, you will attract people who maybe only see the thing that you are also seeing. But then you have your little community of damn, okay, there's this guy. Again, this is not the best example, but Sam Pope, the guy I just showed, this guy's not chasing the views. This guy has good insights, okay? Great insights on the 3 pillars of good 40K competitive play. And all he does is talk and do a little bit of...
This is like academia. This is how I feel when This is how I feel whenever Dave Green is talking. I don't understand like if people are actually resonating with what's being said. Do I have that? I don't know if I do. I'll look for it right now. Oh no, Master Shake $2. Ardy, did you go to liturgy today? No. I would have told you if I did. I would have had a lot of bravado and waved it around so everyone could see that I went to liturgy today. Obviously, no.
Editing, and boom, more views than I have on my last 2 videos, probably. Okay, do it. Yeah, and this is the point with me. It's very clearly that it is only the je ne sais quoi of whatever I'm doing in terms of vibes is what's attracting people to my channel. It by definition can't.
Je ne sais quoi. Whatever I'm doing. Like, what he's saying is technically true of my channel. There's a vibe. But if it's a vibe, don't talk about it. It's just a vibe. And if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. A certain je ne sais quoi of my vibe. But like, it's like, for example, I don't believe anybody understands what is being said here. Can someone please explain this sentiment to me?
For me as a right winger, I am not a nationalist because I don't think that nationalism solves sort of the problem. And I understand the dangers of nationalism. But when it comes back to pushing against these sort of Davos consensuses, is like the consensus that comes out of places like the World Economic Forum and the Silicon Valley elite, like, nationalism is the only place that we have as an alternative power base for these systems.
So nationalism? So when there's Davos and globalism, nationalism is the only alternative where we have a power base for these systems. What? But he's not a nationalist, but it's the only alternative power base for these systems? Let me just try it one more time. He's really smart. I'm really dumb. Let me see if this makes sense to anybody.
For me as a right winger, I am not a nationalist because I don't think that nationalism solves sort of the problem. And I understand the dangers of nationalism. But when it comes back to pushing against these sort of Davos consensuses, is like the consensus that comes out of places like the World Economic Forum and the Silicon Valley elite, like, nationalism is the only place that we have as an alternative power base for these systems.
The only thing I hate more than reading is like pseudo-intellectualism, dude, and it's starting to run fucking rampant. Holy shit, that was useless.
Can't be what I say. It has to be how I act. Because FD Signifier and CJDX, radical black Marxist and non-binary.
I know, but like Dave Green isn't a nationalist, I'm assuming for some fucking pedantic reason. And also, he says there's no communists in 2026 for I know a fucking pedantic reason, dude. Oh my fucking god. Oh, I don't consider myself a nationalist because really what a nationalist was before pre-modern times is something to... Oh my fucking god, dude. Fine, you're special.
A left-wing video essayist would not be willing to have a conversation with me to the same degree that an Andrew Wilson goes on Joe Rogan as, like, you know, known as like one of the most misogynistic influencers around. It's like, clearly it can't be what I'm saying that is causing these people to be willing to engage with me. It has to be something they recognize in me, some authentic pursuit of the truth. Okay, so do that. I
know this is true of like Andrew Wilson, the people that enjoy watching my content. It's the endless meta conversation about the conversation.
That's your value. All right, let's just do the basics. Okay, this is my most practical advice for people who are trying to do YouTube. Okay, number one, these are things that took me a while to do. Learn to write in your own voice. It's a big thing on, do you do a script and then you just read it verbatim? I think that's fine. It takes time to write in a way that when you read it out loud.
We can see how he primed his audience to make YouTube videos and they suck at it, and now they're going to consult him for $75 how to make a YouTube video, right? I mean, that's what it seems like.
It sounds like you. It sounds like something you say. You can deviate a little bit. If you have a background in public speaking, that'll help. Okay, but learn to write in your own voice. That's the key. I suggest you script out ideas and videos. And honestly, starting with a Substack, at minimum...
You really don't have to script anything out. Here's what you have to realize, okay? If you make a YouTube video, and I've said this to people privately who have inquired about making YouTube videos, you don't have to release the video. For some reason, people think if they record a video, they have to release the video. The first stream me and Fist ever did isn't released. I could show it to you. It was never released. You do a trial run, okay? And then if you wanted to, you could send it to me privately, and I would just have an open discussion about what your intent is and whatnot. But you don't have to show it to anybody. And if you don't sound confident, get confident, stupid. Try it again, and then try and sound more confident, or you might decide you don't want to do it. TNRF, $10, thank you. Olav Hasolim, Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham didn't make it, okay? That's what happens when you get a little too much Israel in your veins. Beneficent, $5, thank you. St. Augustine used to rant about loquacious speakers who say nothing. Oh, brevity really is the soul of wit. Oh, it's becoming very annoying to me because it's persuasive to his fans think that he's saying something of great magnitude. I assume it's what Orthodox people, Ortho bros, your issue is with evangelists. It's people think that they're saying something because they're saying a lot of words. Then when you ask a Lindsayite, hey, what did Lindsay say? What was that episode about? It was 2 hours. What did he say that you liked? You just got to watch it. You didn't listen to fucking anything.
Start with a Substack and just get some backlogged articles that then you turn into videos. Again, build a portfolio of work and share it. Focus on a niche. This is one of those things that sticks in my head. Everyone needs to understand this, okay?
Yes. Right, which is actually a Nietzschean idea, at least in part. I mean, it's older than that. It's the apprenticeship idea. It's that before you can be a painter who can paint what's beyond mere memory, you have to inculcate that discipline skill. And a lot of that is painful repetition and hard grinding work. It's the sacrifice of the present for the future. But once you manage that, then things open up. And then virtually everything you learn of value.
You can also simply enjoy doing something, right? Then it becomes less labor if you find... So when it comes to self-improvement, you have to find a way to enjoy it. It's almost like when you had your first job or 2 or 3 or whatever, you just learn to enjoy your job because you have to be there anyway, okay? There's no such thing as motivation. There's only such thing as discipline. I suck at discipline, okay? But that's a fucking true statement. I fall off the wagon all the time.
It was like that's very, very, very difficult to learn to write. And there's arbitrary rules that you have to follow and bind yourself to. And while you're learning those rules, the probability that you have any creative freedom to speak of or any facility with the rules is very low. You're a rank beginner. And even to some degree, whatever creativity you have is going to have to be stifled while you're passing through that keyhole. But if you pass through it, then something massive opens up on the other side. And it is definitely the case that...
That's the point. The keyhole. You pass through the keyhole, and then something opens up on the other side. Okay, that analogy. Always, dude, pick a niche, start niche. All of my earliest videos that got me any sort of traction at all.
Disciplinarians.
It was the ones where I broke... This is 2021, so this is 5 years ago. It was breaking down Jordan Peterson's more niche ideas, because this is still when people still liked him, and he wasn't off the rails. And so I would post these on the Jordan Peterson subreddit.
Why are you showing? Why do we have to? Thank you for showing me this, but why would you show this, dude? You want to know why? Me. Because it's me.
The Maps of Meaning subreddit, the Confronting Chaos subreddit. And my niche was explaining Jordan Peterson's more complex ideas in a simpler manner, okay? And that's...
Back in 5, fellas, gone nishing.
That's how I grew the channel, acquiring kind of a core audience who appreciated that type of stuff. Well, then what did that allow me to do? The example I always point to, when Charlie Kirk died, I made a 6-minute video called On the Death of Charlie Kirk. I'm aware of the cynicism of, trying to explain like YouTube mechanics about that topic.
Yeah, and you monetized it. Did he monetize it?
Charlie Kirk. That allowed me to do. The example I always point to, when Charlie Kirk died.
He monetized it. Now, fellas, I'm some stupid, dog shit, poo-poo atheist, okay? I explicitly made sure that I didn't monetize that video when I made a video on Charlie Kirk's death. I just thought that I shouldn't do that. I thought it would be insincere if I was talking about how this is like changing things politically for me and radicalizing me, because I know that the left's going to stomp on his grave, and then all of a sudden there's a fucking commercial. I don't know, dude.
I made a 6-minute video called On the Death of Charlie Kirk. I'm aware of the cynicism of, trying to explain like YouTube mechanics about that topic, but it is the one that comes to mind. Forgive me. That got 13,000 views. Why? Well, if someone just makes a video that says On the Death of Charlie Kirk and they just put their face, that actually people might be interested in watching that. But because I built up a reputation,
he put his face next to Charlie Kirk's face. Okay, dude. Does that really not scream narcissist a fucking little bit? Why do we have to see your face in the fucking thumbnail? It's not a draw, and it's about Charlie Kirk.
And an audience. I just have to say, these are my thoughts on topic X, and people will, I wonder what Paul has to say here. And also I would say, because, again, people who are not demented can tell I'm being as honest as I can be, when I'm not saturated in irony, which even that is a form of honesty in its own way.
Oh my God. Did you hear how fucking mooey that was?
I'm being as honest as I can be, when I'm not saturated in irony, which even that is a form of honesty in its own way.
Do you see how circular it is? And like the overly ironic thing, like that That is just a way for no one to ever know when he's telling the truth for plausible deniability. Another narc trait.
I think people are more inclined to go watch that, right? So you start with a niche and then you can begin to talk about whatever. And then like when, hey, some shit fucking thing happens, it's actually like a shock to the culture. Well, now you have people just want to hear like, well, what does this guy have to say about this? Second, develop a format. Basically, again, I'm learning this rule 5 years too late. I'm going to turn this into just a video that I'm going to put on my channel. So the format is, I have an idea, I do some...
Now, as you can see, this is when he enters the era of just doing a stream. I don't understand what seasoned YouTubers don't understand. I don't know why Spoon doesn't stream on his channel. I don't know why this guy doesn't keep them. Even Cool Vic and Remnant will put their streams behind a membership. But the streams are there. It's content. You spent hours doing it. Why would you make it inaccessible? Why? Why doesn't he have a $5 or $10 tier on his fucking YouTube memberships? You're a fucking idiot! Why?
At work, I make a PowerPoint slide and then I stream it live. And then what do? I edit it after the fact. I got the worst part out of it, which is sitting here talking to a camera, repeating my own lines that I keep fucking up all the time.
Okay, so everything is through his Patreon, where it's so you can pay $2 on his YouTube to get nothing, or $3, $5, or $10 on his Patreon. But why wouldn't you utilize YouTube to also do that? Why would you go over here? You fucking idiot. Oh my God. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him about anything.
And it's just less work. It's more natural. It's more authentic. And so I'm gonna continue to do that in the future. I'm literally acting out the advice that I'm giving you. Oh, here's one. This is just maybe a personal preference thing. Don't reach out to people for conversation until you have a following yourself. People say, oh, it is correct. Like, yeah, if I collaborate with someone, I'm going to have a greater chance to, expose my ideas. Okay, if you really...
No one fucking cares, dude. He has talked to at least 2 million+ subscriber channels. We're going to watch his FD Signifier commentary after this. Destiny, Andrew Wilson, he's talked to Vosh back in the day, countless JJ McCullough, countless fucking people. And still no one's running with your fucking ideas, dude. But he has to take himself very seriously.
Really are serious about exposing people to your ideas, you should be able to build up a small following yourself, a small channel, get some good stuff, get your ideas out there, learn to talk to the camera, all that, and then people will be more inclined to speak to you. Speaking from my point of view, I get emails all the time. Hey, do you want to talk? And look, and I'm joking aside, I recognize that it is a privilege in the truest sense that there are people.
I only get 2 kind of emails. Somebody might want to talk to me and do a collaboration. 3. Somebody might want to talk to me and do a collaboration. Somebody wants to make a sincere compliment to me, or somebody fucking hates me so fucking badly they want to make sure I see what they say about me.
People who, because I've articulated ideas in a particular way, are interested in talking to me and just say, hey, I would like your thoughts on this thing. That's cool, especially as someone who's interested in ideas. People starve for that, so I get that. Point is, grow your own channel, get the bare minimum achieved, and then that'll prove, so to speak, that you are worth talking to, so to speak. So the point is, just don't email me with like a 7-paragraph thing about some theory and ask for my feedback. I can't get to it, okay? Not yet. I might have an opportunity there at the end. But
see how important he feels for these theories and these ideas? Oh, it's just like James Lindsay talking about ideas. Oh.
Come on. Keep podcasts under an hour. Do not leave giant streams up that are 3 hours long, or don't make 2-hour podcasts if no one knows who you are. No one is going to trust.
Don't make 2-hour podcasts if no one knows who you are. Well, what if people know who you are, right, PF Jung? So why don't you? Apparently, even if they know who you are, don't fucking do it, according to your advice.
If you don't have trust built up, no one's going to click on your 2-hour podcast. You need to earn the trust of people. I don't even try to do more than, I try to keep it under an hour. Thumbnail and title.
He tries to keep it under an hour. Okay, well, this is obviously bad advice. I aim for about 2.5, 3 hours when I'm streaming. Seems to be working pretty well. Terrible advice. I don't know where he got that advice from. Oh, wait a minute. I think he's giving that advice because he fucking sucks at streaming.
Formula, this is stuff you just...
Which we're going to cover next.
Learn. I still don't have great confidence in predicting performance. So you can run A/B testing. The only difference between these two...
I don't care about A/B testing. Remnant does care about A/B testing, I believe. And in the back channels that I'm in with other creators, they also utilize A/B testing.
Thumbnails is that one has a bright orange background and one has a bright black background.
He also doesn't know how to use his fucking microphone. Does anyone else ever find it strange that he's not talking into the end of the microphone? Who the fuck talks into the middle of their microphone?
Now, I believe this differential is fucking insane, by the way. If something is like at 55% and another's at 45%, that's a clear winner, 55 to 45. This is 75. Now we get to the most important part here.
Now we get to the most important part here. I made fun of Counterpoints doing this earlier, where for some reason you start showing your fucking finances. Like, why are you doing this?
Okay, everyone listen to me very carefully. If you want to start a YouTube channel for the purpose of positively contributing to the cultural, intellectual, and political discourse, you will not make any money, okay? We'll go through some of my ad revenue. Let's put it in my context. So I do YouTube full-time, in half air quotes, because...
No. Yeah, it's in half. Okay. This is going to lead to 5 months later, giving him $75 an hour. Right now, he already said he has to get a job a fucking month and a half ago at this point. And he's like, yeah, I'm kind of like sort of full-time. No, I don't think he was ever full-time. Because he said, you know what? I knew I wasn't going to be full-time forever.
This is the thing I spend the bulk of my time doing. I quit my job knowing full well that the absolute best case scenario would be combining YouTube ad revenue and Patreon. I could maybe break even on my rent. It's a terrible idea to try to make money on YouTube.
So, okay. Now, fellas, do we think that was good discernment to say that he has to live at home. He has to live at home. You can't just make your rent. Or what? He stacked up a bunch of money and then slowly watched it dwindle month over month? For what? Keep your other job, idiot.
First off, it's unreliable because if you're going to do,
This isn't my only source of income. I am eternally part-time. I get to say whatever I want. And the more support that I get, the more often I can do it. Very straightforward.
Talk about important ideas. You're going to get censored. Okay. And there's no money in it. So let me just show you some stuff. So this is my most viewed video of all time. We're witnessing the collapse of a secular religion. Essentially 150,000 views. This was in the last 3 months. $360. Now, is that better than nothing? Of course. But think of it this way. If I made 4 videos a month, I got 150,000 views each. I would be making...
Look at him thinking of, what that would be like. That kind of money is life-changing for him.
$1,400 a month, which is like $18,000 a year or something like that. Poverty line, okay? Don't get into YouTube to make money. That's not the point. You can't. You won't. Yeah, first off, don't ever take sponsorships or ads. That's not true. You can take sponsorships or ads.
This is an edited video. He immediately goes back on it. He didn't take that out.
I was trying to make this a sustainable income thing. That's the only option. Okay, this is just my personal opinion. So if you want to take ads and sponsorships, that's fine. I personally don't, because what's the point of quitting my full-time?
How do you take ads? Okay. In sponsorships when you're small and starting out. This is fucking incoherent. Enrico Palazzo with the fun number, $5, thank you. Genius is knowing when to stop. Goeth. Yes. Fellas, give me an honest answer. How many times has P.F. Jung talked himself out of some pussy? Where, you lock down the pussy, you're like, all I have to do is shut the fuck up and I'm good to go. Chris Rock is a bit about this. I was going to fuck him, but then he started talking. Yeah, dude. Once it's running smooth, let's not do so much talky in public. Let's just shut the fuck up and do it or don't do it. JLM Knight, $5, thank you. Lost in the sauce. Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude. This should... it's going to be really fun to follow this fucking book. Where this book goes. Tessa Tempo, $5, thank you so much. It's very interesting that all his good ideas coincidentally are coming from the other better people. Start YouTube channels so he can take more good ideas. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Narcs are very bad at coming up with their own ideas. Yes, but he also wants to be very different. Yes. Yeah. And then they also pay him $75 for an hour to go, what do you think I should do here? You know about YouTube because I'm a believer in you. Flavius Ignatius, $5, thank you. The reaction to Kirk's death, that shit radicalized me, but the Ortho Bros told me to shut the fuck up and go to liturgy, so here I am, post-liturgy. Dude, that was some grieving that happened. If you can actually tell my energy was different, if you find the date of when he was murdered in front of his children and fucking wife, this is why I don't even comment on the Erica Kirk shit. Like, the wife and child... And mind you, that's a traditional relationship. So the family's fucked. And obviously she's going to get, utilized by everybody around her because she was following Charlie and all of a sudden he's not there anymore. So obviously she's going to be used as a fucking tool. So that's why, how often do you see me make fun of Erica Kirk? It's fucking gruesome, dude. Tassa Tempo, $5, thank you so much. Don't reach out to others, but pay me $75 for one-on-one advice. You can't make this up, dude. Dude. I know, but it's kind of like me and Remnant briefly covered this guy. It was the guy Pangburn, Travis Pangburn. I'm in his Discord, And he does this really similar kind of fucking creepy thing where like they really want to leverage parasociality and people are talking to them and they're exchanging ideas. They just love being the guy that people go to for answers and want to impress. TNR FNV, $5, thank you. Learn how to write in JPP's voice. BP's voice, fixed it. Here we go.
My job to then just go read ads. It's like, no, I need to talk about the Holocaust and transgender children, okay? And no one wants to sponsor that, right? Except maybe Flaming Hot Cheese.
I know, but what if you could craft lol cows, right? Now, it doesn't seem ethical, right? You have to choose your target. Here, let me give you guys the formula. It's very simple. Remnant privately asked me, hey, Ardy, you have less subs, but your live streams get better numbers than mine. Can you give me any advice? And I said, absolutely. And here's the advice that I gave Remnant. In terms of lol cows, think of a horror movie, okay? And there's always a really shitty character in a horror movie, right? Really shitty character. And you're like, fuck, I want that guy to die. The good people get killed, and you're like, oh, why can't they kill the guy I fucking hate? And then he kills the guy you hate, that tension is released, and you go, oh, I'm so glad he killed that guy. With lol cows, you have to show them be frustrating, okay? You have to show how frustrating they are, and they get so fucking frustrating, and then killing them is just making fun of them and tearing them apart. That is the psychology. And also, in the beginning of the stream, allude to something that's going to be coming up, which is going to be what I call the meat of the stream.
Yes, which I would take, and that's the only one I would take. Anyway, really for money-wise, streaming is the only path to success. You need to stream like 5 hours a day, at least. And then the key is you just clip it up and edit it and do all that. And super chats are a big like revenue generator. But here's the thing. It's not worth the psychological price. I have streamed plenty. We're an hour and a half in. I'm already...
The psychological price. Bro, you've talked to Destiny. What do you mean psychological price? What are you fucking talking about? That didn't zap the energy out of you?
But here's the thing. It's not worth the psychological price. I have streamed plenty. We're an hour and a half in. I'm already kind of tired. There's no way I do this more than 2 hours today. You become a performing monkey.
Don't. Oh my God, you're not cut out for this then, dude. Okay, then I don't know what to tell you.
And when you train yourself to look for content, because no one can just talk for...
You train yourself to look for content when you remove all other income, and this is your only income. That's what happens when you did that to yourself. You should have kept your well-paying job, but you have this sense of importance that the world, it's so mooish. He has to fucking repair the world. Oh my God, dude. You should have kept your really good job, because then you have that money, and then you can also use some of that money, right, for things for the channel, right? Before I was getting money for the channel, I was using money I already had to purchase things for the channel. And that's what you should do, because now you're desperate, and you don't want to be desperate, okay? Look at you when you're desperate. Look at his desperate face right now. No, you don't ever want to look like that, Paul. Come on, buddy.
Good ideas for 5 hours a day. You're just sitting there reacting to a lot of sloth stuff. And I'm not saying that people who stream are doing it wrong. They are.
This is why I don't stream all the time every day, okay? There's people that do a day shift and a night shift, all right? Because they are dedicated to being streamers. I like to, once I find something interesting, I can go and stream on it at my own pace.
Paying a psychological price. And if there's any streamer who tells you that there's not a significant psychological price to be paid for doing the streaming, they're lying. I'm not willing to pay that psychological price, perhaps because I'm already borderline schizophrenic as it is.
This reminds me of James Lindsay, the psychological torture.
Okay? Patreon. It is very helpful. It's also very cool to have like a central repository where the people who want to put $3.
The issue with Patreon is friction. People have to leave the site and go somewhere else. I understand YouTube takes a higher share, but nobody has to go anywhere or do anything. There is no friction, so you do get less per person. No one can gift you Patreon memberships. You fucking idiot. If you wanted to fucking generate revenue for your channel, you would take your almost 39. Hit my mic. 39,000 subscribers, and they would just have to hit a button. And then they could see your full streams. Fuck, am I, I don't even think I'm... I'm seeing so many creators that have been around longer than me with larger audience sabotaging themselves in the most fucking That's where they're creative. Is how creatively they sabotage themselves.
Or whatever to support. That's very cool. That's perhaps the most encouraging thing for me having done this. But just as a percentage, this is true for every single YouTube channel ever. It's a very, very small percentage of people who will go out of their way to go and donate, which is completely.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck is with this? I've seen the same thing. I said this early on with Rumble. I'd love an answer to it one day. It seems fucking random. Arden Party said, fucking Rebel jacked half of one of the rants I've gotten this month. Remember when I said that early on? It's not... Rumble sometimes takes half. Somebody gave me $1 and they gave me 50 cents. But then other times I'll get like... Have you noticed, Arden, that you get like different percentages of Rumble rants on fucking Rumble? For the love of God, can we have a parallel YouTube that fucking works well? It makes sense.
Be fine and fair. Think of all the channels that you watch that you don't donate to, even though you really like. Now, I have 122 paid members. My Patreon revenue, $400 a month. Now, let me tell you, once again, is this enough to put me above the poverty line? Absolutely not. But is it?
Why? Okay, so he has like 140 now, so he's making like what, 400, 450, like 500? Okay. And then the revenue on his channel is going to be roughly maybe 500. So yeah, so he's making like... And then with whatever super chats. So now I know what he's making. That was you going full time. And he said he had a well-paying job before this, dude. Why? Why are you telling me that? You know how expensive rent is today? There's no way that he has to live at home if he's just considered about fucking paying rent. Ay, Dios mío, diablo coño, tigre. Matty Ice, $5, thank you. I've thought about doing a YouTube channel for Arabic translation streams and videos about grammar and etymology. Maybe do some lessons on Orientals. I don't know if you're serious, but I can... if any of you want to start making YouTube videos, okay? Here's all you do. You can send me, for free, a fucking DM on my backup X account, because I'm banned for 90 days on my X account, okay? I can customize advice specifically for whatever you are trying to do, okay? Because he's right, we do need more people, but here's the thing. I have the Patriot Front mentality, right? Where you would need to be like, shit, should I message him? Should I ask him? You really need to want to do it. You have the desire to do it. I'm not just going to like, oh, he feels so fucking important, though, with people that need him.
Pretty wild to have 122 people pay $3, $5, $10 a month just because, they support what I'm doing. It's pretty cool. But again,
he's been a YouTuber for fucking 5 years. He's been monetized for like 3 years. And he's still like, oh, man, I can't believe people are supporting me.
Unless you're like doing very, very well, you're not going to get huge support. And you can go I've watched YouTube creators really complain. There's like, I've got 1 million subscribers, but only, 2,000 Patreon members, whatever. It's like, that's why you never want to turn your art into money. And so the best thing you can do is
Then why would you go full time, you fucking... Why would you go full... I'm going to be like Jim Carrey in Liar Liar, except I can't break YouTube TOS. Then why would you go full time, you fucking... Then why would you go full time, you fucking... I can do this. I can break TOS. Then why would you go full time, you fucking fart? You idiot. You moron. You're not making any sense.
A real job and make money and then do this on the side or, do it as a creative work. But my point is, the thing that I'm trying to convey is get your ideas.
The color of this pen is royal blue.
Out there. Okay. Most important thing. Why are you doing this on YouTube? Build a network. Okay. I would never have thought that the most important thing that came out of the YouTube channel was all the connections I would have made, which in hindsight is silly. It's the most important thing.
Terrific. Now, after he gives that big confidence talk, right? So that was in February, right? He didn't release any videos for 2 weeks. Then he releases a special announcement, and the 2 most recent videos he released are from this stream. This stream, of course, is unlisted, and I love unlisted streams. And he doesn't take any... This is the narcissist tendency, the laziness, okay? Now, be lazy, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with being lazy and making content at all. However, in the same way that I criticize the Groypers, you want this commanding presence of gatekeeping or access to knowledge that people should fucking pay you for, and you just don't show effort, care, love, or dedication in what you are fucking doing. That is the criticism. And so now you want to, okay, he's so fucking bad at this. I really think it's a ploy to get people to fucking make a YouTube channel and fucking give money. But look at how this starts out. You fucking nerd. He has been doing this so much longer than I am, and he looks like someone has a fucking gun to his head, dude. Deep Wang, $5. Thank you. I just got back from taking a shit. Can you restate Jung's entire point in phonics, please? I'd really rather not. We've all known white guys that dance like this, okay? What is the archetype? What is the meme? The meme archetype. Oh, that would be a great parody video. I'd have to study his memes and his meme theology and then go, what's the archetype of a PF Jung fan? You don't really believe in anything with conviction, right? If you're a leftist, you're LARPing. If you're a right-winger, you're LARPing. Probably if you're a Christian, you're kind of LARPing. You don't really believe in anything of conviction, and you endlessly fucking pontificate and feel like you got something accomplished.
Shout out Enrique on the synths. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. We are back. It's been a hot minute. I've not been doing my job. My job, according to... Oh, what is my job? It's my job to just make videos.
Wait for it.
It's a problem with this. It's a problem with what I'm doing in this goddamn channel. I don't know what my job description is. Because it's not just make content. That's cheap. That's weak. That's shallow. That's what I'm trying to avoid. I'm different. People accuse me of being a pick-me boy. A pick-me boy.
Wait for it.
Or like a city boy. I don't understand that meme. Where did that come from? What Zoomer came up with that shit?
Yeah.
City boy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, as the title says, the left is out of control, which we will get to momentarily, okay? They are out. They're out raping. They're out accusing each other of rape.
He's going to talk about Graham Plattner.
They're out doing all kinds of nonsense. It's completely fucked. All right, everyone.
Yeah. Are you...
Wait a minute.
Is your mic on, right? Which mic is it? Your mic is fucked.
What's going on here? Is
right.
my mic fucked?
You're using your computer mic and not your actual mic.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah. Yep. This is after the video of paying him $75 to fucking consult people of literally just anything they want to do.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh my God! How did anyone listen to that?
Oh, I love unlisted streams, fellas. I like unlisted streams because I used to like having obscure VHS collections of like, you could only get it on VHS because it doesn't exist anymore. But then you could pretty much access anything that's on VHS anywhere. And it kind of ruined my collection. So I get to still have that affinity of like, I have this and I'm showing it on stream and no one else has access to this. That. I like obscure videos that you can't see anywhere else. Especially when they're embarrassing.
Is this much smoother?
Oh, yeah.
And delightful?
Perfect.
Do we have smoothness here?
You fucking idiot.
No, doesn't sound like it. What the fuck?
You
Audio.
fuck up. You want
this
this
one? Ooh,
there
I
you
think
go. There you go, dipshit.
I think this is tasted. This is tasted. Oh, yeah.
Give me your
Okay,
money,
wait, no,
huh?
the echo cancellation is just absolutely
$75 an
fucked. Ladies and
hour.
gentlemen, this is what happens. This is what happens when you go a month
He's been doing this like 3 times as long as I have.
without streaming. I think it's fine now. I think at this point,
I named this mic Brian Callahan, BC, because it looks like a BC.
Wow.
Brian Callahan. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
That is edgy.
Okay, I think that's clean. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Thank you for the collective crowdsourcing of information.
Do you see why I start with something on screen to talk about? Now, I'll let you know. I didn't need a lot for this one, but what I always have, okay, are just some things here, okay? That's it. Nothing crazy. That's it. That's all I have. Sometimes it's more notes, more involved, okay? That's it. I'll be listening during the day, and I take a screenshot of the timestamp with my phone. So I get to listen during the day, then by nightfall, I can just throw it into the computer, and it's straightforward. Always have something on the screen to watch or talk about. It could be anything. You should, at this point, kind of have an idea of what your audience, but it has to be him. It has to start with him, and he doesn't know what he's going to do, but it's just, look at me, everybody.
Machine learning god, good goddess. Appreciate it.
Doesn't know how to salute.
The right is far more out of control than the left. Just look at the Trump drama. Listen, I'm aware that the right is out of control. Okay.
Very blinky man. I know it's sped up like 1.25. Very blinky man though.
And when I make a title called "The Left is Out of Control," it's a litmus test. Because if you're stupid, you'll think, "Oh, see, he must be a right winger."
He's in the middle.
Called "The Left is Out of Control." Little do you.
He has lefties in his audience, and so this is what it turns your brain into when you have lefties in your fucking audience. Okay. So we're just gonna scoot right along. This happened to me recently. When I had a Rumble video on, and I thought I was still on YouTube. Oh, I love how mad he gets, though.
I got to move to a different software, man. This is getting ridiculous.
I love it.
I hit Chrome tab. Why would it not share audio?
At what point?
Quote,
At what point do you iron out these fucking
cut me off
problems?
if I'm sharing too much, but when you shared before the story came out, one of the key details where I was
I can see why they're unlisted. If only you could just do them well. See, an hour and 50 minutes, dude. Right? Maybe try to get some fucking ad revenue on it or something. But so now his work meta is to just stream, cut out that bullshit, and try and take 2 videos out of it, and they get like 4,000 views. He's like putting less and less effort into it. It's I cover people that are larger than me that I'm technically punching down because they get less views and less fucking engagement per month. It's fucking a bizarre place to be in, okay? Oh, here we go.
Competitively, but ranked. He plays a lot of He plays a lot. Well, no. And you know what we're going to get to here? We're going to get to anti-Semitism on the left here because it is a real thing. It is a real problem.
See how old this topic is? Anti-Semitism on the left? Wow, dude, really? See? Now, you think it's on the right, but it's also on the left. It's a gimmick. It's a gimmick. My retardation, okay, not a gimmick. He's talking about being authentic. It's like, are you being authentic to cover the anti-Semitism on the left?
So let's get into the next segment here, okay? And this is important. Because,
did you plan anything? Did you plan it? Yeah.
Let's see real quick.
I currently have 14, 15 tabs at the top of my screen. I just click on the next tab. We both use StreamYard. We both use the same software.
Yeah,
You're
all right.
fucking incompetent. Holy shit, dude. Did you plan it fucking ahead of time? Even when I say call an audible, right? Play a video and do this in the background.
Did I get this order right?
So that's what his fucking stream's like. Anyway. So now, what was on his stream, all right? So both of these are from that stream. The left is out of control. That's what he named it. And here we go. They think I'm a white supremacist. Now, he loves that FD Signifier has 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and he's talking about PF Jung, okay?
So obviously, when I saw the Graham Plattner accusations break, I thought what any good political commentator would think, which is, oh my God, how can I make this about me? And seeing as this is about purity spirals on the left, I wanted to share a personal experience I've had dealing with purity spirals. Some of you may know my absolute brother from another mother, FD signifier. Now, to be clear, I mean that literally. FD signifier is literally my brother from another mother. Okay, that sentence has as much truth value as 2 + 2 = 4. It's a fact. This is an example of the purity culture on the left in a different format, because FD and I have had a few conversations too, and he was taken to task by this gentleman, who I love, by the way. Deculturation, 63,000 views. This was a year ago. This is what happened after FD spoke to me publicly.
Like, I've watched P.F. Young talk about Malcolm X in a way I've never heard white people talk about Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? Not always perfectly.
Wait a minute.
In a way I've never heard white people talk about Malcolm X. You know?
What are we doing here? What are you? Paul, put the fingers down, Paul. Paul, put the fingers down.
About Malcolm X.
Yeah. Now, throw the deuces, Paul. It's a black guy talking. Come on, you can do it. Throw the deuces.
White people talk about.
You're a special white boy, dude. Give him the deuces.
You know what I'm saying?
He makes me hate white people. That doesn't feel good. I don't enjoy that. Paul, come on. Help the whites. Don't help me hate the whites.
But like, okay, I see you've actually studied this. But I've also heard him.
By the way, P.F. Young actually studying it is just saying what the guy wanted to fucking hear. Cocktail Consoles, $10, thank you. Longtime listener, that is correct. I've seen that you have been subbed, I think, for over a year. First time caller, thank you for having more entertaining streams than PF, huh? Keep fighting the good fight, sir. Thank you very much. You very gracious clam. Thank you.
Some of the other ridiculous stuff. So I'm like, okay, these are two wolves that should not exist inside you.
I know we're wrapping up. My apologies. You said when you called him your muse that you had seen a lot of his videos.
Yeah.
Most of his popular videos are having conversations, because he doesn't do debates really, right? With Andrew Wilson, who is the most prominent, Christian nationalist.
Skipped all them shits. I'm serious.
I skip all them shits.
White people is what I'm saying.
Huh?
You're too gracious to white people, that especially those pretending to be centrists.
Mm-hmm.
We have to recognize
it's all about me.
Jung, the same way Adam and Sitch, as crypto white nationalists.
Mm-hmm.
Adam and Sitch are crypto white nationalists. Wow. See, this is why it became difficult after a while for me to cover the left. I'm like, this is just very old. Calling people white supremacists, this is just very old to me.
Right? And treat them as such. Because the same way that we cannot normalize liberal Zionism, like, bro, the Democratic Party has led us straight into fascism.
Hold on, I just want to give you all the context here.
We have to recognize that this isn't this is not a neutral interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I understand that you might not view him as a white nationalist, as a white supremacist, but there's too many red flags. The moment you say,
and this makes P.F. Young feel very special, right? Because they're calling him a white supremacist, and he's like, haha. It's almost like the James Lindsay thing, like, I'm not really that. You don't really know what to call me, do you? It's pretty fucking queer.
Oh, I'm sympathetic to Christian nationalism. Christian nationalism here cannot be separated from white nationalism. There's no way of doing that. And so what I'm hearing is, I'm sympathetic to Christian white nationalism as a white man that cries about the rise of anti-white racism. How much grace do you want me to give this guy, bro?
Blacks and the left literally cry every fucking day about white people and Trump. Stop.
I don't want anybody to give any level of grace to that.
Sorry, but by you giving him some, it normalizes that giving grace.
I love how we need to see P.F. Young's face giggling and just talking about me. Why do we have to even see your fucking face watching it?
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
No, it's definitely a critique that I considered going in, right?
Twice.
It's like twice, and probably in the future.
That's my man FD. Because here's the thing. Here's what's going on here. FD knows that this guy is, first off, racist towards white people, which is fair. Look, respect. Let me just be very clear. I respect this guy, and I mean this unironically.
Okay, I need you guys to help me. Okay, if you're arguing about paganism versus Christianity in the chat, calm down. I need your ear right now. Okay, I need to know why he said this. I need to know why all of a sudden he starts praying and spraying against fucking pro-whites here. It comes out of absolutely nowhere.
Racist towards white people, which is look, respect. Let me just be very clear. I respect this guy, and I mean this unironically, infinitely more than any of the little bitches in my comment section who hide behind their little anime, usually fucking anime weeb profile pics, and talk about how white people need to unify and how blacks are a problem, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, you're a little bitch. This guy is out here on camera talking shit. Okay, so if anyone here is
you're allowed to say fuck white people, and you're not allowed to say fuck black people. What the fuck? How do you consider yourself some sort of like meme general, but you don't understand the fucking double standard that you can say fuck white people, like corporately, governmentally, socially, in every facet of society, institutionally in terms of academia, but you can't say fuck black people. So what is your problem? Where the fuck did that come from?
a fellow white person who's offended by this guy, and you stick behind a keyboard, you're a coward. I respect him infinitely more than you. Anyway, here's FD apologizing at the end.
Look. So, but your challenge is, all right, FD, I understand the impetus, the consequence of allowing my face to be connected to his is soft.
I love how no other groups have anonymous people. The fuck are you talking about?
This crypto white supremacist activity.
Yeah,
and I gotta hold that. And I'll reconsider going forward whether or not I allow that to happen.
Right, and to reference when I was saying, like, platform them or fuck them up, you could do that in other ways that aren't. I'm not asking you to curse on this out.
Platform and fuck them up.
Or whatever. But
fuck up that white boy.
There's ways to be a little bit more aggressive. To me, it just came off really chummy, especially how quickly he dismissed.
Yeah, so like you can see that. Do you think his content appeals to the left? Really? No. And with a comment like this from Ancient Hybrid, we do need to unify. Yup. So do you think it appeals to the right wing? Nope. Are things very polarized in society? Yes. And after James Lindsay going crazy, I can show you. You want to see the moment I decided that I can't go fucking right wing enough? It was Shameless Spurg, actually. I believe that's what it was. The Spurginator. So, fellas, if you look at my videos from the past month, I've been crawling further and further right wing. As fate would have it, June 2nd. So I'm a year in to trying to jump as far right wing or just to see what's out there. This is me at a year, okay? I think I've covered a good amount of ground. But I realized a year ago, like, oh, it has to be right wing. It has to be. Nope, that's it. It has to be right wing. And then I've been discovering, I had that feeling that it has to be right wing, but I've been picking up a lot of why and what's been going on while I was doing my anti-communist classical liberal stint.
Your child's experience.
It is somewhat.
I was calling myself a classical liberal at the beginning of 2025. Okay? I need you to understand how fast things are moving for your boy Ardy.
Like, we've had a lot of really long conversations, and like there's things I know about him and his, like that was so there's certain things are public and not public, but no, you're catching going to the fact that like that is a person I've had like real meaningful.
There he is, my pro-white mentor, Alexander Friedman. The only question is just how far.
Conversations with, which is why I don't believe he's actually a white supremacist, but he is very much in that crypto white supremacist framework for his content, right? And it's like, okay, how does that? I'm trying to compute, but your overall point is correct.
Ladies and gentlemen, black.
So yes, this is my epistemology. Can relate. I wasn't right wing because I liked the Republican Party. I was right wing because I vehemently loathed the left. Yes, I very much connect whenever Andrew Wilson says, I fucking hate the left. I fucking hate them. And you are commanded by God to hate that which seeks to destroy everything that you love.
Graham Plattner dealing with the purity culture on the left. No, I'm just kidding. That's terrible. That's terrible. And I'm actively making life more difficult for FD. But that's fine, okay? Because he has 1 million subscribers and he can take it, okay?
This is my look at the smile
making life more difficult for FD.
Look at the smile that FD Signifier has 1 million subs and he's talking about Paul.
But that's fine, okay? Because he has 1 million subscribers and he can take it.
A guy with 1 million subs is talking about me. You see how that's enough for him? It's the same thing with Isaiah L. Carter, where he has on the redheaded libertarian. He has on people that work at the fucking Babylon Bee. He has on James Lindsay. He has on fucking Warren Smith, who has 600,000 fucking subscribers. It does nothing, dude. It's fucking incredible.
Okay. This is my point, though. Purity culture on the left. Literally talking to me, crypto white nationalist Nazi. That's the accusation. And this is a repeated theme with other people. You have to understand that when someone on the left, if they're big enough, talks to me.
Yeah, what does the right call you? A fucking what does the right call you? A fucking what does the right call you? A fucking a freshly baked faggot?
There are many people in their audience who are like, don't ever do that again because he's a bad person and you're normalizing being a bad person. And this doesn't happen on the right. Then you say, well, the right's evil and the left is good. Oh, cool. He sucked my thumb. Very sophisticated analysis. No,
at least Isaiah is kind of cute retarded. Fellas who got gifted memberships, check out the Isaiah L. Carter videos. Okay? They are the best content I will ever make. I don't think I can make it ever again. There's 3 episodes. 1 is in front of the paywall. 2, the first 2 are behind the paywall. It is some of the best content on the internet. Okay? It's organic. We don't know what's going to happen. And we invade somebody else's chat. And we run really a mooish psychological operation on them. It's the hardest I've ever laughed on stream.
Truth is, the left has some pretty strong crazies. So, for example, this is some relevant information to know about deculturation's opinions about, for example, Hassan Piker or Bernie Sanders. You say, oh, wow, these guys are both racist. It's like, well, hold on.
That's enough. Yeah.
I view somebody like Hassan to be almost like a limited hangout in the best way.
What is that?
A limited hangout.
So this area of the internet thinks that Hassan isn't left enough, okay?
Basically, Alex Jones. I'm going to give you some conspiracy theories about the state that are true, but I'm going to use that legitimacy to feed you a bunch of bullshit that is illegitimate, right? That can mislead you. The fact that the largest leftist streamer is interviewing Bernie Sanders and Alejandro Ocasio-Cortez. Bernie Sanders has been a lifelong Zionist.
And Alejandro Ocasio-Cortez, okay? Okay? That's like, in order for me, the only way I can do a Mexican accent is if I say the words 17 and 18. But I have to sound Mexican. I went to Mexico once, and I said, agua, and she had no idea what I was fucking saying. And should I have said to her, like, agua, agua, 17, 18. Do you understand then? How much of a fucking accent do I have to have if you don't understand what the fuck I'm saying? Oh, don't even get me started on fucking Mexicans, dude. Holy shit, they deserve everything bad that has ever fucking happened to them. We speak different languages here. They don't know any language in Cancun, Mexico.
Was literally in the kibbutz. Is a genocide denier. Objectively, he is a genocide denier. Refuses to acknowledge it as a genocide. Was yearning for Golda Meir, who literally used chemical weapons against Palestinians to ethnically cleanse the land. Was yearning for her days, literally saying to Pod Save America, Benjamin Netanyahu, this is a different Israel. It's not the Israel of Golda Meir. In his vilification of the rabid Zionist right.
Also, in a little bit, I'm going to send you to Rob Noor. Please behave yourselves. Be regular, decent people. Okay? That man streams a lot, all right? He doesn't want any fucked up shit happening when I send you over there, but I want to fucking support Rob Noor. I've always supported Rob Noor. I'm just letting you know now, and I'll let you know at the end.
He compares them to Hamas, a resistance group, no matter what your opinion of their strategy or the line, whatever. So this is a as Zionist as you get.
No, I don't know about as Zionist as you get, but I get your point.
No. I'm
Bernie Sanders is as Zionist as you get. Yes. Bernie Sanders and
Can you believe the left said that?
Randy Fine. Bernie Sanders and Ted Cruz might as well be the same person. Oh, wait, they are because they're all white. Oh. When you have a simpleton ideological lens that is just race reduction all the way to the bottom, this is what you get. You get FD signifiers saying, I don't know about Zionist as you get. bro. That's a little that's a little too far left, one might say. And it's funny. Now, again, like I said, listen. I'm talking about. I don't know this guy's background. I don't know what experiences he had with white people. That sounds like I'm being a joke. I have friends who are white who are racist towards black.
Just for that, you're getting Adam and Sitch.
Black people or Mexicans because of their experiences with them. And I tell them, like, hey, you're wrong. Don't say this shit. Don't try and think that your racist views are normal. But I'm like, okay, I get it. If I had your experience, I would be like, fine. Sort of.
If I can't control how antagonistic you are, you're going to Adam and Sitch.
Like a woman who gets sexually assaulted and is constantly talking about how men are trash and all that. I'm like,
we have a fella. Look at that. Yeah, I'm telling you. If for nothing else, the Isaiah L. Carter streams, okay? It's going to put a dent. It's 13 hours of content. It's got to be. One of them went really long. It's over 10 hours of content. That'll, dude, fucking play video games, rewind a couple of fucking parts that are fucking crazy to make sure you heard them right. And then that's 2 behind the paywall, and then the one in front of the paywall. It's still, I don't know how we fucking keep pulling it off. He used to do it on Sundays. Now he does it on Tuesdays, so there's Ardy and Fist there. So, oh, well, would you look at that with your thighs. Thank you very much. See, some people know. Some people know. If you know, you know. I don't know how to describe the content that's behind the paywall, okay? I don't know how to describe it. It's different. I'm unique. My mom has called me, for the record, special and handsome. Think you should know that. Searsight, $5, thank you. Insert joke about P.F. Young smirking as James Lindsay scissor closes on him. Yes, I don't know. I'm at work and can't think of it. Dude, he is right in the fucking middle, wanting to get fucking snipped. That's some buttery kippa talk right there.
That's wrong, but like, I get it. I'm not really going to push back that much when it's you and I. So, me and deculturation here. We could have a good conversation, I bet, with dude, there's nothing more unifying than being anti-Israel. It's so great, isn't it? It's so great. You don't have to be anti-Israel. You just have to be anti-far right in Israel.
It's not great. It's fucking exhausting, dude. It's not fun.
So easy. So easy. Just Ben Gvir. Ben Gvir. Ben Gvir is the unifying chant. Anyway, my point is...
I really feel this comment with my soul. But debate is gay. Conflate disingenuous bad faith ad hominem. See, anybody can do it. That's all it's turned into, and it's so fucking sad because I actually enjoy debates. New GM, $5. Rocking everywhere. Thank you. Ardy, can we all just go to Rob Noor and talk about miscegenation on our own? You fucking do that separately. I'm punishing you guys and sending you to Adam and Sitch, okay?
The left has a purity problem. It's ridiculous. Hold on. Let me show you this one too. This is another example. Again, I want you to, there's people in my audience who don't like FD Signifier and think he's racist. It's like, you simpletons. Listen to what he has.
Do you see how he needs the clout? How he still wants to publicly talk good about FD Signifier because it's the 1 million subs?
To deal with. Okay, this has 5,000 views. These are the kind of people who come after FD Signifier, okay?
Okay, 5,000 views.
That's because his ideology is leftist. It's kind of very much in line.
Wait a minute. How many subs? This guy has 250 subs, and he's getting more views on his videos than fucking BF Young is. Oh, no!
They're the kind of people who come after FD Signifier, okay?
That's because his ideology is leftist. It's kind of very much in line with leftist and liberal woke politics, so to speak. So obviously some of the things he said will be good in line with that. Some of that is just pushing.
Now, this is true. Fellas who gained access to memberships, there was someone called Abby Shapiro's Bleached Brown Star fucking with Isaiah L. Carter, and he is black, he is big, he is bald, and he's a stupid and he's a retarded he's a stupid neighbor.
A white liberal agenda kind of dressed up as being something positive or revolutionary, right? And he won't get into, certain things that'll be too controversial among white people.
FD Signifier, tool for whiteness. Oh, this is some random guy. Yeah, I know his production setup is shit, but he's got more views on his video than the last couple of mine.
Anyway, give him fucking $75 for a fucking hour of his time. How could anybody fucking fall for this? I easily could make $10 tiers, $20 tiers behind the paywall. I could easily do that, but I don't. I don't do that. because it's really easy for me to be content, okay? And I gotta do other stuff, or I gotta restructure stuff. It also, the feeling, the only way, and I'm gonna actually end it here, the only way that I would start charging $10 a month would be in the future for members only live streams, but it's also after I might have to hide all my live streams behind the paywall. If there's a giant wave of censorship and I have to restructure things, that's really when I would like restructure it and like do something. But like for right now, I don't know. It's a shitty feeling when things are more expensive. It's fucking annoying as shit. Anyway, everyone's getting punished, getting sent to Adam and Sitch, where you can do whatever you want there, you fucking heathens. Thank you very much, fellas, for hanging out. So yeah, I don't know why you would give PF Jung any money when he's a retardo Montalban. And yeah, what are they? What are they talking about right now? Let's see.
Yeah, but I think it's like a super majority, like 60 or something.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not, though.
you guys,
I mean,
you
the
guys can
impeachment's
go
not
and
going
spice
to
that
work.
up, can't you?
That's not going to go through. Right?
If they had
New
the votes
GM,
to do
stop!
it,
No,
he would totally get
you
impeached.
shouldn't do any of that. You're
Obviously.
going to Adam and Sitch, and you're gonna do a tower.
Yeah, if the Democrats
Have a
take the
good night,
House and
fellas.
they don't take the Senate, they will still impeach Trump, and then it will just be for no reason, right? It'll just be symbolic.
Yeah,